What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 4 Centigrams Chapter 81, The Fantasy Pokemon Darkrai fights against the twin gods of time and space. Advertisement. Although you cannot use Mega Evolution yet, but Xiaozhi still placed Charizard's Mega Evolution Stone on Charizard's body. Even if it cannot evolve, it will not affect Charizard's ability to carry Mega Evolution Stones. When the day comes when their tacit understanding is sufficient, it will be Charizard Mega, the day of evolution. Suddenly, Xiaozhi remembered something and said to Diantha, "Miss Diantha, I would like to ask, did Professor Baratano say that Charizard has 2 evolutionary forms?" Two kinds? Diantha looked stunned. Can Mega evolve into something else? Doesn't Mega Evolution specify a form? Tell us about the 2 types of Charizard. Dan Emperor's eyes were filled with stars, all kinds of Charizard. It was like heaven to him. When Tiandao Inventory gave me the Keystone and the Evolution Stone, they told me that Charizard has 2 forms, one is Y and the other is X. The Evolution Stone in my hand is called Charizard X Evolution Stone. Charizard. Xiaozhi truthfully told Diantha the information he obtained. Diantha also secretly wrote it down, so she can tell it to Professor Baratano later. This information must be very helpful to his research. X and Y. I really want to see the form of Mega Charizard earlier. Let's fight again after you complete the Mega Evolution, Xiaozhi. Good. Faced with Dan Emperor's invitation to fight, Xiaozhi accepted the challenge excitedly. Not everyone can challenge Alchemy Emperor, but that person is currently ranked number 1 among the 8 masters. Given this opportunity, Xiaozhi naturally couldn't miss it. The 8th Heavenly Inventory is about to begin. Inventory of those Pokemon that rival gods in their mortal bodies, 6. At this moment, an ethereal voice sounded, and the next inventory was about to begin. Is it still a battle of gods? I originally thought there was another special inventory. 2 special inventories were conducted to review various dark histories. Lorelei is quite interested in this aspect, despite her icy beauty. In fact, she is a gossipy woman who loves cute dolls. In the 6th game, who will be against whom? Under the eyes of everyone who was looking forward to it, the picture slowly appeared on the big screen. In the screen, dark clouds cover the sky and the sun, huge buildings are turning into purple stars and slowly dissipating. In midair, 2 behemoths were confronting each other. One of them is a standing Pokemon. It is purple with dark purple lines on its body. There are discs with purple stripes on the shoulders. There is a pearl embedded in each. There are 2 ivory horns on the mouth, normal. The other Pokemon is a Pokemon that walks on all 4s. His color is mainly sapphire blue, and there are many metals covering his body. There are 2 horns on his head, and the metal part of his chest is like his natural breastplate. Set in the center is a cobalt blue pentagonal diamond. Cynthia. Huh. Dialga. Palkia. How could it be them? Is the protagonist this time one of them? Close black lens bracket? Cynthia was shocked. When Unova Opaloosid appeared just now, she also said that Unova Opaloosid's status is the same as their Sinnoh twin gods. Everyone is an opposing first-level god, however, she never expected that. The next inventory is actually related to the 2 gods of Sinnoh. It's just that, this picture seems a bit not good. Alder. Miss Cynthia, this time it is your turn to tell us the legend and power of the twin gods of Sinnoh. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. The blue one is called Dialga. Dialga has the ability to control time and is called the God of Time. He can distort time to speed up, slow down or even stop it. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Legend has it that time began to flow due to the birth of Dialga. When Dialga's heart beats, time passes. He has the power to manipulate time and can move to the past and future by manipulating the flow of time. This awesome style. Why does it sound so much better than Unova Opaloosid? Turtle. This is about controlling time. You can even travel between the past and the future. Having said that, isn't this Heaven's Inventory just a glimpse into future events? But the power of Tiandao Inventory is much more powerful than Dialga. After all, rewards can be given to those who make the list, and screens like this can be displayed all over the world. For everyone to watch and take stock, this is simply not something Dialga can do. But through the lens we can see how powerful Dialga is. Compared to controlling lightning, such power is fire. Dialga, who controls time, is simply invincible, right? However, I haven't used the time power a few times during fights, so I don't know if it can be used in battle. Cynthia. Palkia is the divine beast corresponding to Dialga. The power Dialga controls is time, while the power Palkia controls is space. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. In myths and legends, Palkia has the ability to distort space. She can move to distant spaces by manipulating the connections in space. With every breath of Palkia, the space becomes more stable. Palkia's description is similar to Dialga's, except that time is replaced by space. But, if I insist on saying it, it feels like time is stronger. Advertisement. Being able to travel between the past and the future reveals the power of space. Unless your dimension can travel to a parallel world. That's similar to the power of time. If time is vertical, then space is horizontal. Dialga can travel to the future and past, but Palkia cannot travel to parallel worlds. In this regard, I think Palkia is relatively inferior. After Cynthia's introduction, the skills of the two Pokémon at this time also overlapped with each other. Dark purple fluctuations, pink and purple claws interacting. Soaring in the sky there was a violent roar. The city below them dissipated even faster. It seems that this area is on the verge of being broken due to their battle. Two mythical beasts are fighting madly in the air at a speed that ordinary people cannot see. With each move, the heaven and earth seem to be shaking. The battle between the two mythical beasts lasted much longer than the previous one. But there was no huge trick that could destroy the world. Despite this, the aftermath of the battle between the two sides has almost destroyed the city. Get out of here. At this moment, a gloomy voice came out. This is a black Pokémon that looks like a shadow. His tumbling white hair covered most of his face. Only a pair of bright blue eyes are revealed. Around its neck is a red jagged object that resembles a normal collar. This Pokémon appears directly in the middle of the battle between the two gods of time and space. I saw his two normal claw-like hands pointing to one side. Then dark black spiral wave suddenly flew out, directly hitting the two gods of time and space. The impact caused by dark pulse set off a huge plume of smoke. After the smoke slowly subsided, some injuries appeared on the bodies of the two gods of time and space. Just one move actually injured the two gods of time and space. What kind of Pokémon is this? Cynthia. Darkrai. Why did he confront the two gods of time? Sydney. Darkrai. Is this Pokémon called Darkrai? It's so handsome. It looks like an evil Pokémon. Tell me more about Darkrai. I want to make one. Open black lens bracket Karen. What a handsome shell smash dream. I feel like I'm obsessed with him. Close black lens bracket. Grimsley. I feel. This is the best Pokémon for me. Please tell me where I can collect it. Sydney, Karen, and Grimsley are the evil elites of Fangyuan, Johto region, and Unova respectively. As evil-type experts, they have special intuition for evil-type Pokémon. When they first met Darkrai, they felt there was an inexplicable attraction to Darkrai. So they were sure that this was definitely an evil-type Pokémon. Maybe it was also an evil-type mythical beast. I want it. I really want it. Cynthia, if you elites want to conquer Darkrai, you may be disappointed. So far, we have never seen Darkrai except in the inventory video, but his legend has a long history. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Darkrai will use the power to lure the opponent into deep sleep and dream, and make people and Pokémon do nightmare to protect themselves and expel them from their territory. There is a saying in the countryside that Darkrai will bring terrifying nightmares on moonless nights. This is a phantom Pokémon that represents evil in legends. It can also be regarded as a kind of mythical beast. It is different from those mythical beasts in the past, whether it is the Ice God Pillar, Latios, Tapu Koko, etc. None of them have ever been defined as evil, even because of the legendary Pokémon. They are admired, however, Darkrai. He represents the existence of evil in the legend. As to whether this is true or not, Cynthia does not know. The above information was obtained by studying ancient books. As for Darkrai, she has never seen his true face. When Cynthia was doing science popularization, Darkrai had already fought with the two gods of time and space. Originally, they were fighting well, but in the end, some Pokémon dared to stop them? How could they endure their violent temper? A direct united front against Darkrai. Get out of here! Darkrai roared angrily, raised his hands high, and countless shadow balls jumped out crazily. Palkia and Dialga roared, and pink, purple, and sapphire blue shields appeared around them. Countless blacks were like bombs. Normal shadow balls were all swallowed up. Lee, Palkia and Dialga are both growls with echoed voice, which is difficult to describe in words. The two mythical beasts roared. Dialga condensed a saffron-colored energy bomb from her mouth. Palkia, on the other hand, condensed a purple energy wave in his mouth. Lee. Golden energy bombs shot out and exploded in the air instantly. Countless golden energy bombs fall like meteors normally. The ultimate trick of the dragon system, the Dragon Star Cluster. Lee. At the same time, Palkia also roared, and a huge purple wave as thick as a bucket suddenly came back. 0. Please give me flowers. Both sides' attacks are directed at Darkrai. Darkrai opened his hands, and countless spiral waves of darkness poured out crazily. Offset many Dragon Star clusters, however, someone still slipped through the net and attacked Darkrai. Advertisement and Dragon Pulse also directly destroyed Darkrai's Dark Pulse. Boom. Disabled the remaining Dragon Stars and the violent Dragon Pulse hit Darkrai one after another. Darkrai only had time to cross his hands in front of him to resist. The terrifying power set off a huge puff of smoke. Darkrai flew out and fell into the nearby forest. Seeing that the obstructionist was beaten away, the two mythical beasts continued to fight with each other. In addition to melee skills such as Dragon Claw and Dragon Tail, the two mythical beasts are constantly attacking each other with their bodies. Bite each other, it's like they have some kind of mortal grudge against each other normal. Cynthia is also confused about this. Why do the two gods of time and space target each other so much? It's not written in ancient books. After tens of seconds, the two beasts separated. The blue gem on Dialga's chest began to glow brightly. The dark purple gem on Palkia's right hand also glowed with the same light. Terrifying power is condensed on the two mythical beasts. Just by condensing energy, the world has already begun to vibrate. The surrounding towns collapsed even more seriously. Two mythical beasts stockpile completed at the same time. A dark blue terrifying beam emerged from Dialga's mouth spit up. That powerful force even caused the surrounding time to begin to distort. Dialga's exclusive skill, Time Roar. At the same time, Palkia also blasted out a huge magenta sharp blade. The sharp blade cuts through the space. Wherever it passes, the space is shattered inch by inch. Palkia's exclusive skill, Spatial Rend. As soon as the two terrifying attacks were launched, the whole space seemed to be unable to support it and began to tremble. It's like a landslide and a tsunami, destroying both heaven and earth. At this moment, a black figure shot out of the forest like a cannonball. You are not allowed to destroy Alicia's hometown. With Darkrai yelling, an abyss-like black light burst out from him. In an instant, Darkrai was between the two forces. The black light on his body suddenly spreads. It turned into a black ball around Darkrai, completely absorbing the two forces of destruction of heaven and earth. More than Time Roar and Spatial Rend, even Palkia and Dialga were absorbed into the black ball. Time seems to have stopped at this moment. Everything on the screen was motionless, and everyone looked at the image with excitement and nervousness. I never expected that Darkrai would be so strong. The two skills just now are clearly the exclusive skills of the two mythical beasts. But Darkrai used this strange black ball to block the exclusive skills of the two divine beasts. Wakao. Is Darkrai so powerful? I'll go. It seems that champion Cynthia didn't mention Darkrai's level just now. Could it be that Darkrai is a first-level god? I'm afraid there are more than one level 1 god. This is the exclusive skill of two divine beasts. Darkrai can actually follow it? For a time, the whole world was boiling. The exclusive skills of two first-level gods with priesthood were blocked by Darkrai on his own. Is this Pokémon so scary? Could it be that Darkrai is a super level 1 Pokémon? Cynthia. How is that possible? Darkrai is a fantasy beast Pokémon, not an earth-level god with a priesthood. He should have the strength to deal with Dialga and Palkia. Ah. Close black lens bracket. Sydney. I love it. I have the strength and good looks. It perfectly fits the position of the evil trump card in my heart. Close black lens bracket. Karen. Listening to what Darkrai said just now, it seems that he fought against the two gods of time and space to protect this place. Now it seems that the rumors are a bit inconsistent. If Darkrai, he really does all kinds of evil, so why should he protect this city? Close black lens bracket. Alchemy Emperor. Darkrai, whose upper limit is only the second-level god of the priesthood, is now powerful enough to compete with the two gods of time and space. It must be, because he wants to protect this city. Love, let him get such a powerful power. Steven. Not for the city, but for the woman named Alicia. This is also the power generated by the bond between humans and Pokémon. Close black lens bracket. Steven. Even if the woman is not here, Darkrai still displays extraordinary strength in order to protect her city. Close black lens bracket. The performance of Darkrai in the video not only cleanses him of the evil expression in people's hearts, but also let people see the magical power that belongs to this world. The bond between people and Pokémon can burst into infinite power. Even a second-level god can fight against a first-level painting. Darkrai's character also attracted the love of the two evil elites. Handsome, strong, and kind. Who wouldn't like such a Pokémon? At this moment, 90% of the world's people have become fans of Darkrai. Chapter 82. Darkrai vs. Sceptile. How does Xiaozhi win? Advertisement just when everyone was impressed by Darkrai's character. Changes abound. The dark energy expanded by Darkrai begins to become unstable. The originally static picture returned to motion. The heaven-destroying skills released by the two gods of time and space have been swallowed up by the abyss-like power. But after destroying two exclusive skills, Darkrai's energy seems to be close to exhaustion. The two gods of time and space can already slowly drive the limbs. Slowly moved out of the black energy. No, it's not that they are moving outward, but that Darkrai's energy diffusion range is slowly decreasing. In less than 10 seconds, the normal black energy is like a black hole. It can no longer cover the two gods of time and space. After breaking away from the two gods of time and space, Black's energy quickly retracted into Darkrai's body. Darkrai also closed his cyanwood-colored eyes and lowered his hands helplessly. The black hole just now was his last strength. The furious gods of time and space don't care whether you have power or not. Both sides condensed huge energy together, and golden light condensed in Dialga's mouth. Pink-purple light condensed on Palkia's hand, then it was launched almost at the same time. Destroy the Death Ray. Spatial Rend. Two terrifying attacks hit Darkrai at the same time in an instant. Boom. The sound of the explosion shook the earth. the picture was filled with deathly smoke. In the worried eyes of everyone, smoke appeared from Black's figure. But before the audience cheered and shouted, Darkrai's body emitted purple light. Starting from his tail end, the entire body began to slowly dissipate. Just like those buildings disappearing into smoke normal. Darkrai is dying. Don't, Darkrai, don't die, we just cleared up our misunderstanding about you. How could such a good Darkrai, how could he die? What the hell are these two gods of time and space? They're the villains. Why'd I treat Darkrai like this? Time and space will be dark forever. These two guys just destroyed the city. Even the Darkrai who protected the city fell into their hands. This is too much. Although this synopsis allowed Darkrai to clear his reputation as evil. But it seems that this inventory has given the time and space gods a lot of negative fans. At least judging from the current situation, the two gods of time and space, for their own selfishness and mutual hatred. Destroy this city, Darkrai, although I don't know the reason for their fight. But, any reason, nor can they cover up their mistakes. Unless this city and Darkrai can come back, this is not impossible, as long as the space-time double celestic solution is used. A repair space and a reversal of time can actually be saved. However, the image ends here. Many viewers felt as if they had eaten X. It's like this again. Put half or not half. What do you think? Forget it about Lashiram last time, bear with it. This time, you still do it like this, just like you were reading a novel. I finally saw the climax. As a result, he suddenly broke the chapter for you. Is it unbearable? But, there is no way. What can they do if they can't bear it? They deal with the existence of Tiandao inventory. Even if 100% of the world's people protest, Tiandao inventory may not be able to hear their voices. They can only pray that in the future they can see Tiandao inventory start editing about the two gods of time and space. Cynthia. The place just now feels a bit familiar. It should be in the Sinnoh region. If anyone from the Sinnoh region knows me, please let me know as soon as possible. Close black lens bracket. Day. It is indeed the Sinnoh region. Although I can't recognize it, if our Lord Sinnoh fights in other regions, the gods of other regions cannot ignore it. Close black lens bracket. Wallace. I see, you want to use the foresight given by Tiandao inventory to be the first to rescue the people in that town, right? Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Yes, the Tiandao inventory has been a big help this time. If the city is gone, it can be rebuilt, but if the people are gone, there is nothing. As Wallace said, after the image ends, the first thing Cynthia thought of was not which gods were good or bad. But I want to save the people in that city. The first inventory is also. After the inventory is completed, Alder urgently contacted the senior management and police of Unova region. Controlled the white ruins inside the Dragon Spiral Tower. There should be traces of Lashiram inside, if Lashiram is sleeping inside. Just wake it up and let it go somewhere else. Advertisement. If not, all clues that can lead to clues about Lashiram must be destroyed. Team Plasma must not be allowed to find Lashiram. But it's not always possible to stop the villain's plots. Jetsis is probably at the base now with his back molars crunching. Not only was it deflated in the inventory, now I finally got the clues about Lashiram. It is also directly controlled by Unova Alliance officials. Team Plasma has no ability to confront Alliance head-on. Otherwise, there is no point in hiding like this. Now Jetsis can only think about it in the long term. I didn't expect the two gods of time and space would actually do such a thing. Why exactly? Could it be that everything I have studied is wrong? Lord Sinnoh is not actually a god who maintains the stability of the world? Cynthia looked a little disappointed, as a Sinnoh champion. Moreover, she has a strong interest in the history of Sinnoh and has always respected the twin gods of time and space. All along, her name for the two gods of time and space has also been Lord Sinnoh. But now, the Lord Sinnoh whom she respected, but for the sake of struggle, a city in Shenxi was almost destroyed. On the contrary, Darkrai, the legendary evildoer, become a righteous hero who protects the city. Darkrai even sacrificed his life to protect that city. This made Cynthia, who had respected Lord Sinnoh since she was a child, confused. Are the legends wrong? The twin gods of Sinnoh are not the gods who protect the Sinnoh region at all? Instead, he is the god who will destroy the Sinnoh region. So all this time, the history she studied, the history she searched for. What the hell? Miss Cynthia, a childish voice sounded in Cynthia's ears. She looked up at the boy who made the sound. I think Dialga and Palkia must have some difficulties, just like Lashiram. If they always fought like this regardless of the situation, wouldn't the Sinnoh region have been destroyed long ago? It must be because of some special situation that makes them lose their minds and fight with each other like this. After all, according to the legend you mentioned, Miss Cynthia, isn't it because of the existence of Dialga and Palkia that Sinnoh, and even the whole world, can live and work in peace and contentment? How can they be bad people when they maintain our stability? And I believe, Pokémon are pure and kind in nature. If they did something wrong, they must have received some wrong guidance. We just need to correct it. The sonorous and powerful words of the young man echoed in the small living room. Cynthia, and even the other champions were stunned. Even Emperor Dan was wondering at the beginning whether the two gods of time and space were gods that would pose a threat to the world. He also doubted their true nature. However, Xiaozhi's statement made them instantly jump out of their fixed thinking circle. Yes. What if the fighting between the two sides was not based on their original intention? Or maybe it was affected by some machine or phenomenon. They are mythical beasts that control space and time. If we wanted to destroy the world, this world would probably cease to exist. What Xiaozhi said may be true. Xiaozhi, you can actually say such philosophical words. Misty looked at Xiaozhi with wide eyes, and for a moment she wondered if Xiaozhi had been switched. Is this Xiaozhi who has been traveling with them for half a year and has always been like Daodoqing, unwilling to use his brain? Xiaozhi, did you redeem the IQ increasing potion at the Tiandao store? Xiaobing also asked doubtfully. This is very unfair. Xiaozhi, that's enough for you. Can you be considered my partner like this? That's too much? Pikachu also loudly condemned Misty Xiaoging. Although Xiaozhi usually has no brains, but when it comes to Pokémon, he still thinks very thoroughly. What does it mean to be brainless? Xiaozhi, who is at level 10 in PU, instantly understood what Pikachu meant and shouted loudly at Pikachu. Peeved, Cynthia couldn't help but smile. The interaction between Xiaozhi and the three of them is really interesting. Moreover, Xiaozhi's words also enlightened her very well. Let her get out of the dead end. Cynthia's alluring smile directly put Xiaoging into addiction mode. It was only after Misty pulled her ears with her fingers that she managed to force smelling salts to come over. What an amazing boy, don't you think, Cynthia? Diantha looked at the three people having fun and couldn't help but sigh. Xiaozhi is now just a novice trainer who has been traveling for half a year. However, with his trust in Pokémon, he saw something that none of them, the champions, saw. Yeah. No wonder he has such a bond with Pikachu and the others. None of us here can match Xiaozhi's trust in Pokémon. It's a bit funny. I have respected and admired Master Sinnoh all my life, but I don't trust them as much as Xiaozhi, who got to know Master Sinnoh for the first time. Xiaozhi really taught me a lesson. Let me see if I can get a Gibble egg from my family. Advertisement. Hearing this, Diantha looked shocked. Quasi-god Gibble's egg? That kind of thing is extremely rare even in your family, right? Haha, it doesn't matter, Xiaozhi deserves it. What's wrong, Miss Cynthia? Xiaozhi, who was fighting around, didn't hear what Cynthia said. Nothing. As a reward for enlightening me, I'm going to give you a present. Wait until I'm ready. Present? No need, Miss Cynthia, I didn't actually do anything. Xiaozhi scratched his head in embarrassment. Champion. The present he sent must be extraordinary. He only said a few sentences. Where can I get such a generous gift? Your enlightenment is very important to me, so, you deserve this present. You don't even know what it is yet, so don't refuse it in a hurry. Xiaozhi wanted to say something, but the big screen in the living room lit up. This is where the official inventory begins. Regarding the issue of Gibble, don't worry, Xiaozhi will still get his own Gibble from Sister Baisai. We will know when the time comes. JPG. Images slowly appeared on the big screen. What appears at the beginning of the screen is a huge building. There's a giant Pokeball logo on the building. The shape of the building is round, with a hollow center. This place is the site of the Alliance Conference. Everyone looked at this familiar scene and couldn't help but be stunned. Why'd I always feel like I just saw this scene not long ago? Open black lens bracket. Cynthia. Huh? Lily of the Valley Conference? Close black lens bracket. Day. It's our region's conference again? Isn't it? In addition to Latios, there are other mythical beasts? Close black lens bracket. Denji. When did the difficulty of our Alliance Conference increase to this level? Denji was lost in thought. Before, he sent Badge out because rival was too weak. Now it seems. The strength of Alliance in the future is simply outrageous. 2 divine beasts appear in one conference. So scary. Looks like you need to exercise hard. After all, Binhu Gym is known as the Sinnoh Mightiest Gym. If the opponent is a trainer with a divine beast, then he is likely to come here to challenge him. In addition, Xiaozhi may come to challenge in the future. It can no longer be messed up. If you mess it up anymore, your head will be cracked by a hammer. Bet on the Yondaime. No, bet on the name of the Hamako gym leader. Definitely have to have a good fight with those strong ones. The screen is zoomed in, and when the zoomed in image is presented in front of everyone. Everyone was stunned, because they had seen this scene not long ago. On a stadium with green grass, a young man wearing a black and red hat and a blue jacket. They were looking at each other seriously. That's right, the object of this review is still Xiaozhi. So far, Xiaozhi has been on the list 8 times. Whether it's dark history or highlights, we've all had it. However, this is not a reason for people all over the world to be stunned. The reason they were stunned was because of the person standing opposite Xiaozhi. With blue hair and a red shawl and cloak, he looks a little gloomy. This person is none other than the mythical beastman in the third counting battle, Yin Duo. Same position, same venue, same rival. Is there a mistake in the Tiandao inventory? Could it be that he wanted to replay the battle of the previous 2 days? Just when everyone was confused, the camera opened and the display screen in the middle of the arena appeared in everyone's sight. This is Cynthia. This is the beginning of the competition between Xiaozhi and Dacto. Neither side has a single Pokémon.
Day. Could it be said that Dacto also has mythical beasts besides Latios? No way. Alchemy Emperor. 2 divine beasts. Who is this person named Dacto? Yu Longdu. I can understand that Xiaozhi had 2 mythical beasts before. After all, Xiaozhi loves Pokémon and thinks about Pokémon. It would not be surprising even if some mythical beasts choose to follow him. Exclamation mark. But who is this Dacto? Could it be that like Xiaozhi, he also has rich experiences that ordinary people don't know? Close black lens bracket. When many champions were confused, the screen zoomed in again and then blurred. Several lines of subtitles appeared on the screen. Inventory of those Pokémon that fight against gods with their mortal bodies 6. Battle venue. Sinnoh Alliance, Lily of the Valley Conference site. Close black lens bracket. Battle object. Xiaozhi hyphenation point Sceptile vs. Darkrai. Viewers, please start placing your bets. The time limit is 5 minutes. Close black lens bracket. World audience. Many champions. Darkrai. Did they read that right? Darkrai possesses Darkrai. Backquote let me go. Darkrai. Darkrai who can fight against the 2 gods of time and space. Darkrai actually conquered it. Dear me, this is the sacred Pokémon, Dai and Latios. Both Pokémon are extremely rare mythical beasts. Brother Xiaozhi is using Sceptile. This seems to be the Usanjia of the Hoenn region. How can we win like this? People around the world began to despair for Xiaozhi. How can Xiaozhi win against Darkrai, the twin gods of time and space? If it's Pikachu or Charizard, there's still a glimmer of hope. But Sceptile, how can they believe that this Pokémon, which has no autobiography at all, can defeat Darkrai? Chapter 83. The person with 3 attacks in Sleep Talk must have been through something. Advertisement. Yu Longdu. Sceptile vs. Darkrai. I really can't figure out what to do. Yu Longdu. Even Xiaozhi, not all Pokémon can fight against gods like Pikachu and Charizard. What's more, this is Darkrai. The upper limit of Darkrai can fight against the twin gods of time and space. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Indeed, it seems that the hope is a bit slim, although the Darkrai just reviewed was only able to fight against the 2 gods of time and space for a short time because of his explosive seed. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. But it can also be seen that if the bond with trainer is enough, Darkrai of Darkrai will never be too weak. Even at the lower limit, it should be close to the main force of the champion trump card, right? Close black lens bracket. The main players of the normal champion's trump card are all targeting the 2nd level gods. That's why Cynthia said that Darkrai's lower limit is also at the championship trump card level. Dandy. Judging from the performance just now, it's really not easy to deal with. The most important thing is, Xiaozhi's Sceptile is a Pokémon I've never heard of. Dante. Unlike Pikachu and Charizard, he has rich records and past introductions. Although he is the final evolution, none of the top champions in the world are optimistic about Xiaozhi. Even Dan Emperor, who has always been optimistic about Xiaozhi, feels that Xiaozhi's fight will be very difficult. In the final analysis, Xiaozhi's Sceptile does not give people confidence at all. If you play Pikachu and Charizard, they will rely on their strong records and their miraculous records. You may still believe it, but Sceptile, what kind of record do you have? You have no record at all. How can one believe this? Hey, brothers, this wave. I think it's better to suppress Dokuduo. Yeah, let me analyze it for you. In the previous battle, Xiaozhi only had the last 2 Pokémon left, and Inkado replaced Latios. And by the looks of it, Latios just got here. In other words, Darkrai killed at least 4 of Xiaozhi's Pokémon, right? I guess after defeating 4 Pokémon, I felt tired of one of the mythical beasts, so I switched to the next one. To sum up, Xiaozhi's Sceptile must have lost to Darkrai. But according to the title of the title, Sceptile should also have caused a lot of damage to Darkrai, but that's all. So brothers, believe me, this wave will definitely overwhelm Dacto. One after another, voices appear all over the world. The phenomenon that had just begun reappeared in the world. No one thinks highly of Xiaozhi. How else to put it, the scar is healed and the pain is forgotten. They may have forgotten that not long ago, those who were not optimistic about Xiaozhi seemed to be split. Steven's temporary residence. Lance, who are you betting on this time? Xiaozhi. Champions. What's going on, Lance? Have you changed your gender? Didn't you still dislike Xiaozhi just now? Faced with Alder's inquiry, Aya sneered. Oh, it's true that I don't think highly of Xiaozhi, but who says that if you don't like Xiaozhi, you can't suppress Xiaozhi? Alder, Dan D, Cynthia, each of you counts. When analyzing the strength of the previous games, are you optimistic about Xiaozhi? Are you not optimistic? I finally discovered that in terms of hard power and apparent strength, Xiaozhi will always be the weaker one. That's right, I'm not optimistic about Xiaozhi. But I believe in Xiaozhi's possibility. And, this way, It's equivalent to me being optimistic about both sides, and you can't accuse me of being poisonous, right? Lance reveals his true face. Everything he said before was from his heart. But the biggest part of his bet on Xiaozhi's idea was the issue of tainted milk. Now that he is betting on Xiaozhi, it is equivalent to being optimistic about Xiaozhi. And whether you think favorably of Xiaozhi or not is equivalent to having both sides. How can they say he has poisonous milk? Diantha looked at Lance strangely. So, you really take the poisonous milk seriously? No way, no way, no one really takes that illusory metaphysics seriously, right? Question mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Hash hash hash. This series of symbols clearly represents Lance's current mood. It was Diantha who first said poisoned milk. Now it's Diantha who says she doesn't take poisonous milk seriously. This guy. If you really want to meet Diantha in the 8th Masters tournament, you must love her fiercely. Let her see what it means to be the champion of Chengdu, the invincible dragon messenger. Haha, Diantha, what about you? Who are you going to suppress? Xiaozhi. Diantha spoke firmly. If nothing else, there are countless people in the world who are overwhelming Darkrai. Even if Darkrai wins, how many points can he get? But it's different when you press Xiaozhi. If you lose, you'll deduct that point. If you win, can you earn blood? Furthermore, even if Lance said that pressing on both sides is equivalent to no poisonous milk, in fact. Haha, it's not like he doesn't like Xiaozhi. So pressing Xiaozhi is the right way to go. The ever-changing witch.jpg. Just now I said that I have no regard for such metaphysical things as poisonous milk. Now he changed his tone and continued talking about Lance's poisonous milk. If it weren't for the fact that war couldn't start in this place, Lance would have started a fight with Diantha. So, all of us here are going to crush Xiaozhi. Faced with Cynthia's question, everyone nodded. Needless to say, the trio of Dandy, Alder, and Xiaozhi. Basically, the side that suppresses Xiaozhi wins, especially Xiaozhi. Even if people all over the world don't support him and his Pokémon, he will support his Pokémon. And Steven, after feeling the charm of a villa close to the sea, he has been completely addicted. If you want to play big. Those with low odds won't win much money. If this continues, when will I be able to save enough points to buy stones? Just press Xiaozhi. Who made Xiaozhi synonymous with miracles? Cynthia has also won the last few games over Xiaozhi. Advertisement. Plus Lance, who has changed his ways, and Diantha, who believes in Lance's poisonous milk. Everyone present has decided to place their points on Xiaozhi. It's just, other people outside don't think so. The video just now attracted countless fans of Darkrai. And shows the power of Darkrai. Therefore, there are many people betting on Darkrai. Soon, the betting results came out. 95/5. Except for a few die-hard fans who support Xiaozhi, the rest still choose Darkrai. But the odds are quite strange. When the support rate was this high before, the odds were clearly dozens of times higher. However, the odds now are only 5 times. Does Tiandao Inventory think Xiaozhi's winning rate is very high? It shouldn't be. As if aware of everyone's doubts, after the bet ended, a line of words reappeared on the screen. The betting odds are determined based on the points of both parties. The more points the party has, the lower the odds. Close black lens bracket. According to the explanation of Tiandao Inventory, these are the normal gambling rules. So why are Xiaozhi's odds getting lower every time even though his support rates are about the same? There won't be any big money taking over Xiaozhi, right? But, what kind of wealthy man can single-handedly increase the odds by so much? Kalos region, Vanaville town. The remaining 20 million to purchase things, should be enough, right? Come on, Xiaozhi. So said a rich woman who threw away 200 million. In addition to Serena, there are also various people who have made a lot of money because of Xiaozhi. In order to support Xiaozhi, I suppressed a lot of points. Including Xiaozhi himself, he invested 3 million. After all, he no longer needs to buy the Mega Evolution Stone and Key Stone. Just throw most of it to yourself. If this continues, Serena's points should expand infinitely, but the impact will not be big. Anyway, she and Xiaozhi haven't met so soon, so her actual combat power should not be able to increase. JPG. If I still have the opportunity to write an inventory article, I will never describe the points in detail again. This number is a pain in the A. Although the audience is still confused, the game has officially begun. They could only suppress their inner doubts and begin to concentrate on watching the exhibition. In the image, Xiaozhi and Dacto stood opposite each other. After the referee gave the order, Dacto took the lead in throwing his Pokeball. A black figure, a Pokémon with white smoke hair appeared on the field. This Pokémon is none other than the god of war that appeared in the previous inventory, Darkrai. Just when everyone thought Xiaozhi would send Sceptile. The first decision is yours, Heracross. Hey Crow. What Xiaozhi sent here was a dark blue Sceptile. It was not the Sceptile that everyone thought. Bruno. It's Heracross from the Johto region. This Pokémon is also quite rare. Among bug-type Pokémon, it can even defeat top bug types like Scyther. Closing square bracket. Karen. It seems that the training is pretty good, but if you want to fight Darkrai, I'm afraid you will be beaten without the ability to fight back. Close black lens bracket. As an evil elite, Darkrai has become Karen's dream target. What? Incineroar, you say? Is there any conflict between the two? She, Karen, wants them all. Therefore, she is also a loyal supporter of Darkrai. Although she is also quite supportive of Xiaozhi. But, you can't have your cake and eat it too. In the end, she still fell to Darkrai's side. In the image, as soon as Xiaozhi released Heracross, he immediately started attacking. Heracross, use Bug Buzz. Hey Crow. Heracross's honest expression turned serious. Then, Bug-type's power concentrated on his big horns, and began to vibrate at high frequencies. A green sound wave began to spread in all directions. Relies on high-frequency vibration to emit harsh and powerful sound waves. This is Bug Buzz. Darkrai, Dark Pulse. Darkrai turned his hands into claws and condensed a dark power in front of him. Then throw it out. The dark power turns into a spiral wave of darkness, completely cancelling out the attacking Bug Buzz. And there was a huge explosion. However, this time many people were stunned. This Darkrai is nothing compared to the previous Darkrai. The power of this Dark Pulse pales in comparison to the Darkrai just now. 0. Please give me flowers. Cynthia. If we analyze it solely from the power of Dark Pulse, I feel that Darkrai's combat power should be at elite level, at best better than elite, not even championship level. Alchemy Emperor. This Darkrai is a little weak. But for Xiaozhi, it is still. There are still strong enemies. Of course, it is not ruled out that Darkrai did not use all his strength. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia and Dandy keenly analyzed Darkrai's current strength. Dark Pulse offsets Bug Buzz, and is completely different from the previous God of War Darkrai. But, no matter what, he is still a fantasy beast level existence after all. If Xiaozhi can't beat Pikachu Charizard, how will he fight? In the image, advertisement. Xiaozhi immediately ordered after seeing that Bug Buzz had no effect. Heracross, use Mega Horn. Heracross is originally a physical and offensive Pokémon, and with the addition of Mega Horn, it is also a Bug-type's ultimate move. With double restraint, once this move hits, it will definitely cause serious injuries to Darkrai. Hey Crow. Heracross flaps its wings and flies over quickly. The giant horn on his head also emits a dazzling white light. The air seemed to vibrate because of the huge force. Darkrai, Black Hole. Darkrai's exclusive skill, Black Hole. After hitting, you will definitely enter rest contest condition. Get out of the way of Heracross. Upon seeing this, Xiaozhi quickly ordered. He had seen this black hole trick many times before while watching the battle. If it is hit, it will probably be very troublesome. However, even if Xiaozhi ordered to dodge, Heracross' current charging speed would give him no chance to dodge. The dark sphere condensed in Darkrai's hand. Then it shot out normally like an arrow from a string. A head-on hit on the speeding Heracross. When the pitch-black ball touched Heracross, it instantly expanded and enveloped it. Heracross, who was originally high-spirited, fell asleep instantly. The force of his charge allowed him to slide and tackle the ground for a distance even after falling asleep. There was only less than a meter away from Darkrai. However, this 1 meter distance seems like we can never touch it. Cynthia. Black Hole, Darkrai's exclusive move. Hits will definitely put you into sleep. Contest condition. A skill that is countless times more domineering than Sing. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Bruno. Heracross is in danger. Close black lens bracket. Aaron. Don't give in, Heracross. Show them your backbone as a bug type. Sinnoh bug type elite Aaron said. Bug type has always been synonymous with weakness, even the most powerful one, Scyther. In fact, it's not that strong. The most important thing is that bug type has too few powerful skills. So Aaron has been trying his best to tell everyone that bug type is actually not weak. Now, bug type's Heracross is facing off against the legendary Phantom Beast. He wants to support Heracross. If Heracross is strong, doesn't that mean that bug type is actually not weak? In the image, Heracross, use Sleep Talk. Dakoto. Bringing Sleep Talk. Is this a countermeasure against Darkrai? Hey, Heracross stood up swayingly, and the bright light lit up again. Then he suddenly stepped out. The huge horns tackled Darkrai's body fiercely. With such a short distance, it would be difficult for Darkrai to dodge. Mega Horn knocked Darkrai away several meters. Yeah, it's Mega Horn. Pikachu. Xiaozhi jumped up excitedly. Sleep Talk is to randomly select one of the learned moves to use. Xiaozhi felt that he was extremely lucky to get the Mega Horn randomly. However, although Darkrai flew out upside down, but he flipped in the air and quickly stabilized his body. Logically speaking, with one move, Mega Horn, you can instantly restrain any evil-type Pokémon within the same level. This is a Heracross with super high physical attack. However, judging from the situation of Darkrai, let alone instant kill, not even half of the blood was hit. In addition to the fact that Darkrai is a legendary Pokémon and has a lot of health. Also because the level gap between Heracross and Darkrai is really huge. It's interesting. Dream Eater. Drink. Darkrai's eyes flashed red, and a shadow of Darkrai emerged from his body. Then Normal passed through Heracross like a ghost. Hey! Heracross opened his eyes instantly. He let out a painful growl. The pupils in his eyes have completely disappeared. #Z. Boom. The blue unicorn fell to the ground, its eyes rolled around, and it completely lost its ability to fight. One move, instant kill. The same double restraint, Darkrai is not even a skill of this type, and its power is not as strong as Mega Horn. However, he instantly killed Heracross with one move. The level gap between the two sides is evident, thousands. Chapter 84. Hoenn takes the lead, equipped with the God-killing rune. Advertisement. Cynthia. Black Hole. Dream Eater. This combo is really disgusting. Black Hole sleeps people, Dream Eater sucks stamina, now Darkrai's stamina should be full again. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. It's a pity. Xiaozhi should have watched Darkrai's battle before, so he prepared the sleep talk skill. Close black lens bracket. Daddy. However, even if you prepare sleep talk and even randomly produce Mega Horn, you still have no way to fight against Darkrai. The level gap between the two sides is really too big. What's more, the other party is a phantom Pokémon. Aaron. Alas, what a disastrous defeat. But Heracross also showed its own momentum. Bug-type Pokémon is definitely not weak. Open black lens bracket. Sydney. Is Zhongzi promoting bug-type Pokémon? Close black lens bracket. Seeing that Aaron is still persistently promoting the power of bug-type Pokémon, Sydney couldn't help but come out and complain, now Xiaozhi is still being beaten. Is this appropriate for you? In the image, Xiaozhi took Heracross back with a look of embarrassment on his face. You did great Heracross, and then, it's you, Torkoal. Xiaozhi released the next Pokémon, with a black turtle shell and an orange-brown body. Torkoal in Hoenn region. Asha. It's not good to use Torkoal in this game, right? Day. Torkoal. Although I don't know much about it, isn't Torkoal's speed particularly slow? To deal with a high-speed Pokémon like Darkrai, without a trick room, wouldn't Torkoal be a living target? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Blaine. Send it. Close black lens bracket. Just like what all the Fire Masters said. Torkoal basically can't do any damage against Darkrai. Darkrai's speed is simply not comparable to Torkoal's. However, many people still think that maybe there is something special about this Torkoal. After all, Xiaozhi used Sleep Talk to deal with Darkrai. The other Pokémon on the field should also have countermeasures against Darkrai, right? Result. Torkoal. Use Flamethrower. 0-40 inches. Ooh, an extremely huge flamethrower bursts out. On a non-sunny day, this Torkoal can spit up such a blazing flame. It's indeed something extraordinary. Xiaozhi's Torkoal probably doesn't have Rizao ability, as Rizao wasn't even shown a close-up when it was released. 2. Darkrai. Dark Pulse. The jet black spiral wave ejected. It faced the powerful flame directly. To everyone's surprise, Flamethrower faced off against Dark Pulse, and he didn't even last 3 seconds before being suppressed. Then the evil wave hit a certain charcoal turtle hard. Smash it into the wall of the competition stage. The wall was instantly covered with cracks like spider web. Normal. Torkoal slid down helplessly, losing the ability to fight. Another move, and this time it was Torkoal who attacked with that huge flame. And this is not a restraint skill. Darkrai's Dark Pulse seems to be a little more terrifying than before. Open black lens bracket. Diantha. I feel a little stronger, is it because of Dream Eater? Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. I don't know much about Darkrai's ability. It's possible that Darkrai didn't use all his strength just now, but what is certain is that the power of this Darkrai is definitely higher than that of Elite. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. As for Xiaozhi, the Pokémon he has produced so far are only around the gym level at most, and there is no way he can pose a threat to Darkrai. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. No wonder the title is Sceptile vs. Darkrai. It is probably because Tiandao took stock that Xiaozhi's other Pokémon cannot be considered rival at all. Brandon. That's right, any Pokémon that is said to be on par with the gods, even if they can't defeat the gods, they can probably compete with them. Steven. Brandon, why are you so angry? I haven't seen you for a long time. Close black lens bracket. Brandon. I've been very busy recently. Close black lens bracket. Brandon would never say that he is currently in an ancient ruins. Perhaps because of the butterfly effect of the inventory, he learned the location of the Ice God Pillar in advance. At present, he has arrived at the location of the Ice God Pillar. Dangre. He had been watching the inventory during this period, but he didn't cry aloud. In the image, Xiaozhi took Torkoal back, now he has lost 2 generals. However, the opponent's Darkrai is still close to full health. If you want to win, you must definitely win. It's just one step away, just one step away. Xiaozhi was not discouraged at all, but instead had a burning fighting spirit. Now he is already in the semifinals. One more step forward is the finals. Conference champion is just one step away. Later, he also wants to challenge Mr. Day and Miss Cynthia. So, how could he fall here? The above psychological description also appeared on the screen. Let the world's audiences understand Xiaozhi's purpose of winning. Many viewers' hearts were filled with excitement by Xiaozhi's thoughts. Unfortunately, Xiaozhi's outcome is already doomed. During the Monaro conference, the commentator once mentioned all of Xiaozhi's achievements. Among them is the sentence, Lily of the Valley Conference semifinals. This shows that no matter what, Xiaozhi will lose to Dacto in this battle. What a pity. Xiaozhi's inner ambition. The next moment, Xiaozhi took out the next Pokémon. However, this Pokémon shocked the world. It's up to you, Gibble. Ouch. A small and cute little shark appears in everyone's sight. Advertisement. Gibble, the quasi-god Pokémon of the Sinnoh region. An extremely rare existence. But this is not the key to their surprise. The key is, you used the unevolved Gibble in the semifinals. No, sir. The person opposite you is Darkrai. What are you using Gibble for? Free of charge. I think if Torkoal, Gibble, and Heracross were replaced by Big Brother, Charizard, and Snorlax, we might be able to get all the opponent's members. And Bug Yan started the show right away. TV was able to survive even one thunder attack, even covered with thunder armor. Here it was directly wiped out by Clean Shine. It's outrageous. Yu Longdu. I think Xiaozhi's Gibble is probably the same as Torracat or Rowlet. Although it has not evolved, it has a very high level. It should be able to work wonders. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Gibble, he looks like a very nice kid. Close black lens bracket. Originally, Cynthia was going to give Xiaozhi a Gibble Pokemon egg. But after seeing Xiaozhi owning Gibble in the future, she dismissed the idea. Looks like I have to choose a different present. Let's see what the Tiandao store has to offer. In the image, Dacto couldn't help but feel happy after seeing that Xiaozhi's third Pokemon was Gibble. Choose Gibble against Darkrai, he is still a child after all. So he directly asked Darkrai to approach Gibble. Be prepared to kill him instantly at close range. However, Gibble, drunk, ouch, facing the rapidly approaching Darkrai. Gibble's honest eyes condensed, and his short claws glowed with orange light. At a speed that was completely inconsistent with his current appearance, he appeared in front of Darkrai. Then a rock smash hit Darkrai hard on the chest. Boom. Darkrai was directly hammered away. He didn't stop until he was 10 meters away. Dakoto's smile froze. There's something wrong with this Gibble. Not only is its speed beyond normal sharks, but its strength is also terrifying. What kind of heresy? Come on, come on. Brother Xiaozhi's classic baby team. Charge the little shark. Try to pave the way for Sceptile. If the title wasn't Sceptile vs. Darkrai, I feel like this little shark could take over Darkrai. This is just embarrassing. Audiences around the world couldn't help but sigh when they saw the familiar baby member. It seems that Xiaozhi's baby team, there are not many simple ones. In the image, a slightly defeated Dacto decided not to approach Gibble and instead used long-range attacks. He waved his hand and shouted loudly. Darkrai, freezing light. Drink. Darkrai's pitch-black hands condensed an icy blue light in front of him. Then came the sudden launch. Cyanwood-colored light is constantly refracting in the air. Rushed towards Gibble at breakneck speed. Facing the freezing light that was like freezing point normal, Xiaozhi quickly asked Gibble to dodge. The small Gibble nimbly dodges the ice light that is constantly shooting at it. When the opponent was exhausted, Xiaozhi immediately started to counterattack. Dragon Star Group. Ouch. Gibble opened his mouth. Bright golden light burst out from his mouth. Soaring up to soaring in the sky. Then normal exploded like fireworks. Countless golden meteors fall like raindrops like crazy. However, in the face of this dense attack, Darkrai's figure continued to surge. Dodge all the dragon stars at a very fast speed. While constantly dodging, Darkrai is also approaching Gibble. The moment the dragon stars ended, Darkrai also arrived not far from Gibble. Dark Pulse. Drink. Darkrai stretched out one hand, and dark black spiral wave was released from his hand. Hit Gibble directly, knocked it away. After a while, Gibble fell down, his eyes rolled around, and he lost the ability to fight. Another move. All three Pokémon were killed instantly with one move. Let's not say whether Xiaozhi can win in the future. From now on, the pressure is undoubtedly full. In this situation, normal people would probably be desperate. There's no need to play at all, okay. Even struggle seems so weak. But Xiaozhi still didn't give up. He took Gibble back and spoke to it softly. Well done, Gibble. Now, let's leave it to our friends. Then, Xiaozhi's eyes became solid again and he took out the next Pokeball. It's up to you, Sceptile. Advertisement. Just. It has a green body, a big tail, and the leaves on its arms are as sharp as blades. The final evolution of Hoenn region Usanjia, Sceptile. The biggest difference between Xiaozhi's Sceptile and other Sceptiles is that he has a small branch in his mouth. Steven. Have you finally arrived at Sceptile? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. From the outside, this Sceptile breeder looks pretty good, close black lens bracket. Wallace. This Sceptile has quite a personality. It even has a small branch in its mouth. Bruno. If you don't tell me, I won't. I found out, it really does exist. It looks more handsome than the normal Sceptile. Close black lens bracket. After seeing Sceptile play, the champions were also quite excited. After all, the title is originally Sceptile vs. Darkrai. Attentive Wallace noticed that Sceptile had a branch in his mouth. This makes the already cold Sceptile even more handsome. At this very moment, on a 1,000-year-old tree that is about to die, a small green lizard was looking blankly at the screen in front of him. Originally, he was the only Pokémon here guarding this dying ancient tree. However, not long ago, a picture suddenly appeared in front of him. On the screen are two strange humans fighting. Trico went from being wary at the beginning, to being fascinated later, and now to admiration. What are you admiring for? Of course, you are admiring that handsome Sceptile. That handsome figure is exactly the future he yearns for. And the way Sceptile held a branch in his mouth gave him a sense of déjà vu for some reason. It's like, that Sceptile in the picture is him. But, how is this possible? Isn't he still here fine? With a feeling of longing and doubt, Trico then looked down. Brother Xiaozhi finally took out Sceptile. What's the use of using Sceptile? It can't beat Darkrai. You can't say that. Brother Xiaozhi's Sceptile looks amazing. Gee, how powerful. No matter how powerful you are, can it be more powerful than Darkrai? Don't you look at how strong that Darkrai is. So far, the 3 Pokémon used by Xiaozhi have all been defeated by Darkrai. It's an instant kill. Sceptile. It's just a food delivery. You. Ignore him. I just saw him betting on duck. It's just a dog bet. Just watch the game. The above conversation was on a small street somewhere. After Tiandao took stock, some people invited a few friends to watch in groups. Some people gathered in the square to watch the game with a group of strangers. After all, watching videos is mainly for fun. But when there are more people, there will naturally be things like cows, horses, and bets on dogs. The above dialogue also appears in various other places. In the image, facing Xiaozhi's Sceptile, Dacto didn't care, because when he wanted to. Darkrai is invincible, even Sceptile can't defeat it. Darkrai, freezing light. Drink. Darkrai once again condenses the ice blue cold energy. Then it turned into 4 or 5 cyanwood colored lights and shot out. Sceptile, use quick attack to dodge. Just. As soon as Sceptile stepped on his feet, pure white light covered his body, and then disappeared like Horacio normal. Only a green shadow can be seen on the field. Quite fast. Unfortunately, my Darkrai is not that easy to deal with. Get out of his way. Facing the green figure like Horacio normal, Darkrai shrank his head in just 5.4. Directly dodged the Sceptile attacking from above. It's not over yet. Sceptile, Bullet Seed, just. The distance between the two parties is only a short distance. At this distance, there's no way Darkrai can dodge Sceptile's Bullet Seed. Countless saffron-colored bullets were fired at Darkrai like Normal's energy bullets like a machine gun. Boom. Bullet Seed hits. Darkrai is directly ejected. Darkrai, Black Hole. Seeing that Darkrai's physical strength was reduced a bit, Darkrai prepared to repeat his old tricks. Use the Black Hole plus Dream Eater tactics to directly restore your physical strength to full value. The black ball condensed in Darkrai's hand, and then was thrown out. Get out of the way. Sceptile just landed on the ground, and then his body turned into a green light again. The jet black balls are not slow when done. Wowsow, Brother Xiaozhi can do this Sceptile. The black hole was already very fast just now. But it was still dodged. Whether it's speed, strength, or reflexes, Brother Xiaozhi's Sceptile is much stronger than the Pokémon we sent before. I feel like Sceptile should be in Brother Xiaozhi's team, and he also belongs to Trump Card. If we keep fighting like this, we might be able to win. Sceptile's speed is faster than the opponent's. As long as we pay attention to the black hole, we have a good chance of winning. Sceptile's power made many people feel Xiaozhi's hope of winning. No wonder the title is Sceptile vs. Darkrai. Only Sceptile has such strength. Only then can we fight against that phantom Pokémon Darkrai. Sceptile is so handsome. Is this my Pokémon in the future? I really want to find him now. Xiaozhi was also deeply attracted by Sceptile's figure. He didn't expect that, in the future, he will actually be able to tame Pokémon that can fight against legendary beasts. Chapter 85. Cut through the darkness. Kill gods with 2 swords. Sceptile conferred God battle. Advertisement. Xiaozhi was of course very happy to see Sceptile taking advantage. However, the champion and others around him did not show happy expressions. Instead, his expression was serious. Xiaogang was keenly aware of this and couldn't help but ask. Champions, is there something wrong with Xiaozhi's Sceptile? Cynthia shook her head. No, there is nothing wrong with Sceptile. On the contrary, he is very powerful. At least among the Sceptiles I have seen, he is the best trained one. But, that doesn't mean he can defeat Darkrai. Cynthia's words made Xiaozhi's face freeze. No. Isn't it Miss Cynthia? Sceptile clearly has the upper hand now. Ahem. Agatha coughed twice, cleared her throat, and then spoke slowly. It's just that they have the upper hand. Sceptile is indeed very fast. But he can't keep moving at that high speed all the time. He's not a mythical beast and doesn't have that much physical strength. Also, Sceptile doesn't just move to dodge attacks, he also needs to attack. You can't win by just dodging. But here's the problem. Darkrai's attack power is obvious to all. And he is a legendary phantom Pokémon. His physical strength is also extraordinary. Plus, he has recovery methods like Black Hole and Dream Eater. In other words, Darkrai can use many skills to find opportunities, but Sceptile, once it is hit by the black hole, everything will be over. After Agatha's analysis, Xiaozhi also understood. Now this seemingly optimistic situation is full of dangers. Darkrai had countless chances to make mistakes, but Sceptile, only once. Sceptile. Come on. Image 1. After several rounds of fierce fighting, Sceptile relied on his speed advantage to briefly suppress Darkrai. Darkrai's health line is also constantly being weakened. However, Dacto did not panic at all. Until a certain moment. Sceptile. Leaf Storm. Just. Sceptile's tail gathered a huge amount of grass power, and a violent tornado swirled around its tail. Countless green leaves turned into sharp blades. This move, Leaf Storm, is very powerful. If it can hit Darkrai, it will definitely cause a lot of damage. Now, Darkrai, the Freezing Ray. Drink. Leaf Storm is the grass type's ultimate move. It's really powerful. But, in addition to the huge side effects, Leaf Storm needs a long time to condense. In this gap, the speed that Sceptile was proud of, has been semi-abolished. Darkrai seized this opportunity and let Darkrai use the freezing beam. Cyan-wood-colored light bursts out. The constantly refracted light cuts through the void. Before Sceptile could attack, he hit him hard. Just. Double restraint damage, coupled with Darkrai's powerful attack power. Sceptile's condensed leaf storm immediately shattered. Along with countless fallen leaves, Sceptile flew out upside down. It rubbed against the ground for several meters. Sceptile. Xiaozhi shouted worriedly. The scene where 3 Pokémon were instantly killed with one strike was still vivid in his mind. Now the same double damage. Could it be that Sceptile also? Just. In Xiaozhi's surprised eyes, Sceptile slowly stood up from the ground. As expected, Hoenn takes the lead. He was actually able to stand up even after taking the freezing light that Darkrai restrained with one move. However, how could Dacto let go of this opportunity? Darkrai. Black Hole. Darkrai put his hands in front of him. A pitch-black ball appeared in the palm of his hand, and then suddenly shot out. Black holes fly like lightning. A direct hit on Sceptile, who had not yet recovered from the freezing light. The huge darkness swallowed Sceptile, and then amidst Xiaozhi's shouts, Sceptile slowly fell to the ground. Send. This word appeared in everyone's mind at the same time. After eating the freezing ray and being hit by a black hole, this time Sceptile will be lucky no matter how lucky he is. I'm afraid there's no way I can survive it. Cynthia. It seems that everything is over. Close black lens bracket. Steven. Alas, Xiaozhi, who has defeated gods many times in the past and has never lost a single battle against gods, is he finally going to lose this time? Close black lens bracket. Dandy. It's a pity that Leaf Storm was used too hastily in the last move. Darkrai's physical strength should have been reduced further, or the distance should have been increased. Close black lens bracket. Alder. You can't say that. Xiaozhi has actually done a good job. After all, he is still a child. He looks like he is no more than 13 years old at most. Karen. Darkrai is really powerful. Even Sceptile, who is as strong as Xiaozhi, bows to his black hole. I really hope I can conquer a Darkrai. If this dream can come true, Darkrai will definitely become my trump card. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Sydney. +1. I also want Darkrai to be the trump card. Incineroar can be the second in command. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. You Eevee Absol. Now. Just be a human being. You like the new and hate the old, right? Don't you love me anymore? Not to mention the subsequent gags. After Sceptile ate the black hole, all the champions, even Dan Emperor, no longer thought highly of Xiaozhi. In the current situation, unless Sceptile wakes up immediately, the battle is a foregone conclusion. Sceptile will definitely lose. The subsequent script is probably that Darkrai will be taken back by Darkrai. Then release Latios, the second divine beast, to use Xiaozhi as a step to show off. Xiaozhi is so miserable. I unexpectedly met such a beast man at the Lily of the Valley conference. A housing estate in Twinleaf Town, Sinnoh region. A little Stephanie is sitting on the sofa looking nervously at the big screen in front of her. Stephanie has beautiful long blue hair, with golden hairpins in her hair. Wearing a V-neck black camisole. There is a white underwear underneath, and a pink skirt on the lower body. The clothes Dawn wore after she left for her trip are used here. Little Stephanie's name is Dawn, and it's still quite a while before she sets off on her trip. But she has already seen what she will look like after traveling. It was during the third game review 2 days ago. Even though Stephanie in the audience is much more mature. But Dawn recognized it at a glance, it was herself. At the first sight, Dawn was very satisfied with her future outfit. So she also matched her clothes according to her future self. In the past few days, Dawn has developed a good impression of Xiaozhi, a travel companion she has never met before. This good impression is naturally not a relationship between a man and a woman. How can she have such a relationship when she is not even 10 years old? It's just a good impression like a friend, or, I am optimistic about Xiaozhi and believe in the vision of fighting. Now seeing Xiaozhi in dire straits, Dawn is also a little worried. Could it be that young man who represents a miracle will also fall into the darkness now? Xiaozhi, come on, outside the Indigo Plateau Conference venue. When Gary saw the scene on the screen, he couldn't help but clenched his fists. He also felt sorry for Xiaozhi about the appearance of the mythical beast man at the conference. Even if Sceptile defeats Darkrai, there is still a Latios waiting for Xiaozhi. It can be said that Xiaozhi is bound to lose this game. But he still wants Xiaozhi to win. If you don't make steamed buns to fight for your reputation, Xiaozhi, Sceptile, show your backbone to everyone. What kind of beast man? Give me a blow. Little devil, come on, isn't it Darkrai? Kill him. That's right, we've placed a huge bet on you, meow. Sceptile, stand up quickly. The voices of the Rocket Trio were so loud that people on the side couldn't help but look sideways. Many people's expressions changed when they saw the letter R on the two of them. Isn't this what we saw before, the rockets who do all kinds of evil in Kanto? Why did it appear in this place? Just when someone wanted to call the police, they suddenly saw the faces of the trio clearly. Oh, it's the three of them, the Rockets Trio who do more bad things than good. That's okay. The Rockets Trio have become well known since they appeared in the previous scene. Although they are called Team Rocket, they actually do not do many bad things, but do quite a lot of good things. Alola region. Lily clasped her hands in front of her body and prayed for Xiaozhi, don't give in, Xiaozhi. Many Xiaozhi fans around the world are cheering for Sceptile. Unfortunately, Sceptile had no intention of waking up after being hit by the black hole. He lay half lying on the ground and fell asleep, but the branch on his mouth still didn't fall down. In the image, no matter how Xiaozhi shouts, Sceptile is still sleeping. A smile appeared on Dake Duo's slightly gloomy face, and he waved his hand. It's time to end it. Darkrai uses Dream Eater. Black Hole plus Dream Eater, classic quality combo. Drink. Darkrai's eyes flashed red, and a ghostly shadow that looked exactly like him flew out of his body. Then it passed through Sceptile's body instantly. Sceptile looked up as if he had been hit hard. He also lost pupils in his eyes. All the audiences around the world lamented. It has ended. No matter how powerful Sceptile is, it first takes a double restraint skill like Freezing Ray. Another super move called Dream Eater. The power of 100 counts is the ultimate move. In addition, Darkrai has almost fully recovered his physical strength under Dream Eater. Even if there is a 1 in 10,000 chance that Sceptile will not be defeated. That can't be Darkrai's rival. All is over. Suddenly, the screen turned, and a dark space that entered the abyss of normal appeared in front of everyone's eyes. The colorless Sceptile was looking around in confusion. Is this Sceptile's nightmare? Dream Eater is a move that swallows the dreams of sleeping Pokémon. Advertisement. If the dream disappears, will there be such a scene? Nothing. Nothingness. In the darkness, Sceptile's expression became more and more confused, and his expression became darker and darker. If Sceptile completely loses his will in this place, I'm afraid, it will be the time when Sceptile loses his ability to fight. Suddenly, a beam of light shines. Along with it. Sceptile, wake up. Sceptile. The light breaks through the darkness. Sceptile's confused expression disappears instantly. This voice is what brings him to success. Let it move forward. If you don't know where the road is going, then walk towards him, that's right. The screen instantly switches to the Lily of the Valley conference venue. Sceptile's originally out of focus pupils instantly return to their original shape. In everyone's shocked eyes, Sceptile shook his head and stood up again. Dakdo's expression could not hide his shock. What the hell is this Sceptile? Of course he knows the strength of Darkrai best. Logically speaking, after eating the Frozen Ray, I also ate a Dream Eater. Let alone one Sceptile, the physical strength of 3 Sceptiles is not enough. But what is going on? Shaw. Sceptile's body glowed with green light, and his eyes were burning with fighting spirit. Ability flourishes and activates. He hasn't given up yet. Well done Sceptile. Use the leaf blade to slash. Sceptile spread out his hands, and on the 2 sharp leafages of his hands. 2 huge green energy blades extended out. Normal Sceptile's leaf blade can only extend an energy blade. But Xiaozhi's Sceptile is a double sword. Xiaozhi's Sceptile is the only twin leaf blade Sceptile among all the Sceptiles in the animation, so his leaf blade slashing power is much stronger. After using leaf blade, Sceptile appeared like lightning and normal. Neither Darkrai nor Darkrai expected Sceptile to be able to smelling salts. So there is no defense against Sceptile's attack. The next moment, Sceptile came to Darkrai. The green leaf blade slashed hard on Darkrai's body. Tisk. But this is not over yet. After one slash, Sceptile made a beautiful turn and slashed again. Tisk. Leaf Blade 2 Fury Cutter. After cutting it off, Sceptile gently fell to the ground. He cancelled the leaf blade in his hand without looking back. And Darkrai, after a brief pause, the floating body fell heavily to the ground. There is no way to stand up anymore. Sceptile. Win. Open black lens bracket Xiaozhi Sceptilev's Darkrai. Sceptile wins. Close black lens bracket. Surrender to death and make a huge comeback. That leaf blade cut is like the blade of hope cutting through the night. Audiences around the world were once again dumbfounded. No, there is such an operation. This is outrageous. Guigi, where did you tame this Sceptile? Is it a different breed from the normal Sceptile? It's so outrageous. I haven't been able to defeat him after fighting for so long, but the lush leaf blade kills the full-blooded Darkrai instantly. What the hell is this Li Jiao doing? New ship operations like you've never seen before. The common characteristic of Brother Xiaozhi's Pokémon, explosive seeds. Sceptile has become a god. I guess there will be another wave of Sceptile craze in the Hoenn region. People all over the world are extremely shocked. If we say before being hit by the freezing ray. They also felt that if Sceptile had a chance of winning. So after being hit by the freezing ray, Sceptile had almost no chance of winning. However, Sceptile and Xiaozhi's operation shocked everyone. Yulongdu. Xiaozhi actually won again. And it was such a huge comeback again. Catalya. It's really awesome. Xiaozhi, if it were me and Darkrai fighting, the chance of winning would probably not be more than 30%. Close black lens bracket. Agatha. Old lady, I'm afraid there's nothing I can do against him. I didn't expect that Xiaozhi at this stage would already have the strength to fight Elite. Close black lens bracket. Will, in terms of strength, Darkrai should be a little stronger than Elite, but not much, but. The most important thing is that the evil system is too severely restrained by the super system. So if I were to face him, I might not be able to defeat him. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. This time Xiaozhi's victory, we can see again, the bond between Xiaozhi and his Pokémon is deep. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. After being continuously hit by the freezing ray and Dream Eater, he should not be able to continue fighting, but, the solid bond between them allowed Sceptile to stand up again. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Not only that, after standing up, Sceptile also triggered the Lush ability. Cynthia. In addition to the bonus of the bond strength of both sides, as well as the special Leaf Blade Slash, Sceptile's attack power has reached another level. Therefore, 2 Leaf Blade Swords can be used to kill Sceptile. Darkrai with full health is defeated directly. Close black lens bracket. Not only audiences around the world. Many champions also lamented the bond between Xiaozhi and Sceptile. What kind of experiences have they experienced? How could we have such a strong bond already? Xiaozhi looked at his order on the screen with some envy. He also really wants to go on more adventures. Chapter 86. Reward Distribution. Sceptile's exclusive props, World Tree Branches. Advertisement. Xiaozhi looked at himself on the screen with some envy. He really wants to meet more Pokémon. Sceptile, Gible, Heracross, these Pokémon must have been encountered by him on his journey. Because these Pokémon are almost unheard of in Kanto. It's a pity that he can't do the clone technique either. As early as the opening of the Indigo Plateau Conference. Xiaozhi decided on the next starting target. That's the Orange Islands. Therefore, the encounter with Sceptile and the others should be quite a bit confusing. Xiaozhi, it seems that you will add many generals in the future. Sceptile's strength is worse than Charizard and Pikachu. Even at this stage, it may be stronger than Pikachu. Cynthia said softly. The strength of Xiaozhi, Charizard and Pikachu is obvious to everyone. Now, I'm afraid I have to add another Sceptile. If nothing else, these 3 Pokémon will definitely be champions in the future. Greninja should be able to reach that point after the bond evolves. Yes, Miss Cynthia. Sceptile is so strong and handsome. I just don't know, when will I meet him in the future? Thinking of this, Xiaozhi felt a little uneasy. The Tiandao inventory certainly showed his future scenarios. But, Xiaozhi is really afraid that things will change in the future. As a result, he and his Pokémon can no longer meet. The encounter between Pokémon and trainer is destined. Even if you know the future, the fate will not change. Close black lens bracket. At this moment, a line of subtitles suddenly appeared on the screen. Xiaozhi was stunned for a moment when he saw the text on the screen, and then he suddenly smiled. Doesn't this passage mean, the Pokémon he will conquer in the future will not be affected by future information revealed in advance? And it no longer belongs to him. No matter what the situation, as long as it's a Pokémon that's connected to him. I will definitely meet him at some point in the future. Seeing this text, Xiaozhi felt relieved. This inventory of Heaven's Way is quite intelligent. It can actually estimate the inner thoughts of the viewer. Lorelei is a little puzzled by the considerate Tiandao inventory. Is there a possibility that Xiaozhi is the protagonist of this world? So, Tiandao inventory will answer Xiaozhi's inner doubts. If it is Lance, Tiandao inventory will probably not pay attention to him even if he shouts at his throat. Diantha told the truth about the world as if nothing had happened. Lance is full of questions. What now? If you don't persecute Bruno, come and persecute me, right? I'm warning you, you're in trouble. Otherwise another Dragonite warning. Then again, what will be Xiaozhi's reward this time? Should we reward Xiaozhi with Trico's Pokémon eggs? Alder is a little curious about the reward Xiaozhi is about to receive. The difficulty of defeating Darkrai this time is probably the most difficult in all of the previous reviews. The power gap between Darkrai and Sceptile is actually huge. If it weren't for the bond between Xiaozhi and Sceptile's perseverance, I'm afraid this battle has already ended. Sceptile ate the Freezing Ray and Dream Eater, but nothing happened except for the strong will and bond. Alder really couldn't think of any other reason. It should be more than that. Everyone knows how difficult this battle is. Before Greninja and Gardevoir tied, they both rewarded Froakie to Xiaozhi. Now the reward should be even more generous. Cynthia feels that rewards should not be that simple. After all, the difficulty this time is not at the same level as the difficulty of the last battle against Gardevoir. In the early stage of the battle against Gardevoir, Diantha was in a tentative mood. This allowed Greninja to use the bond form that took a long time to warm up. It is at the level of letting go. If he had been serious from the beginning, Greninja might not be able to withstand a single attack from Gardevoir. But Darkrai is different. This is a real sword and a real gun, a direct confrontation. Sceptile's strength was crushed by Darkrai in all aspects. Being able to win in itself is already synonymous with miracles. Therefore, Cynthia believes that the reward this time must exceed the reward from the last battle against Diantha. Let's not talk about the reward for now. Do you know the man named Dacto? Emperor Dan issued a sole question. Logically speaking, a trainer like Dacto, who has conquered 2 mythical beasts and is quite powerful. Shouldn't it be unknown? However, apart from seeing Dacto during the inventory, in the real world, I have never heard of Dacto's name. Faced with Dan Emperor's inquiry, many champion elites slowly shook their heads. Even if they are the champion trainers of each region, their hands and eyes are all over the sky, and their information network is spread all over the region. I have never heard of a name like Dacto. Dacto is a pure script kill. DP had the best chance to win the championship, but he was abruptly cut off by Dacto. Furthermore, Dacto's B-thing seems to be set up with the 6 divine beasts, but in the end Zulin is still the champion, which means that the 6 divine beasts cannot beat Zulin. As far as personal grudges are concerned, I really want to scold him with a colorful pen. However, after all, Sister Zulin is the second among the 8 masters and can defeat the second-level gods. It seems natural that Yin Kaduo cannot win. What a pity. Xiaozhi from the Lily of the Valley Conference actually already has a power close to that of the Elite Four. Advertisement. If Charizard, Pikachu and the others are allowed to participate, I'm afraid the elite level will be a definite fact. However, Darkrai suddenly appeared halfway, which caused Xiaozhi to stop in the top 4. It's a pity for Lance, Xiaozhi should have won the championship earlier. Speaking of which, even if Chitaro didn't win the championship this time when he met Beast Boy, why didn't he win the championship in the following years? He even only made it to the top 8 at the inspection conference. As the champion of the Unova Alliance, Alder naturally knows about the Virtress Conference. This is the Alliance Conference of Unova region. Could it be said that the Beast Man also appeared at the Unova region conference? Otherwise, with Xiaozhi's combat power, why would he become the top 8? Katetsu. Oh, yes, my newly evolved Lucario has directly become a mythical beast-level existence. It depends on whether there will be a scene about Xiaozhi versus Alliance Conference in the future. After all, Tiandao Inventory also said before that there will be inventories other than the war against God. Lance is also quite curious about the next 2 conferences, what kind of existence they are. Even the elite-level Xiaozhi didn't have a good way to deal with it. Lance, have you been poisoned again this time? Yulongdu. What poisonous milk? I can crush Xiaozhi. Is this considered poisonous milk? Haha, aren't you optimistic about Darkrai? ... Then I will suppress Xiaozhi too. Come on, stop making excuses, you are the Thunder Nai. Quote. Lance secretly decided in his heart that he must say he is optimistic about Xiaozhi next time. Look what they said about his poisonous milk. The settlement of betting points is completed, all betting points for Darkrai will be deducted. Close black lens bracket. The betting points for Xiaozhi's victory have been distributed. Close black lens bracket. Xiaozhi's reward distribution has been completed, please check it. The next inventory will start in 10 minutes. Close black lens bracket. A lot of text appears on the screen. Many people around the world lamented again. Many people want to give themselves a slap in the face. I have been fooled so many times by Tiandao Inventory. Why are you still fooled? Every time it gives people the feeling that it is basically impossible for Xiaozhi to win. Xiaozhi wins every time. Many people secretly vowed that they must defeat Xiaozhi to win next time. Of course, thinking is one thing, doing it is another. I really encountered that kind of situation where there is a huge disparity in strength. Very few people will still remember themselves who secretly swear to themselves now. As always, a ray of light shone into Stephen's temporary residence, and then shone on Xiaozhi. After a moment, the light dissipated, and there seemed to be an extra branch in Xiaozhi's hand. Xiaozhi, what is this? Is this your reward this time? Bruno looked at the branch in Xiaozhi's hand and asked in disbelief. Has the Tiandao inventory changed? Why are you so stingy? A battle that was so difficult to win was rewarded with a tree branch. Yes, Master Bruno, this is the reward Tiandao inventory gave me this time. In the inventory just now, isn't there a branch in Sceptile's mouth? The branch I want to reward should be a carrying prop for Lizard Show. This thing is a carrying prop. Bruno is confused. Do you think I have a simple mind and strong limbs? Yes, I am a bit simple-minded, but he can basically recognize all the props and objects in the world. Where are the dendritic carriers? Xiaozhi, Tiandao inventory should have told you the name and function of this carry, right? What is it? Cynthia was also a little confused about this carry-on item. Even with her profound knowledge, she couldn't think of any carrying object that looked like this. This prop is called the branch of the world tree. It is an exclusive prop that only Sceptile can use. The effect is that after carrying Sceptile, the power of grass-based skills increases by 20%. The power of Leaf Blade increases by 50%. Sun Flame and Synthesis can be cast instantly, and Leaf Storm will not reduce its own special report. This is the knowledge I have in my mind. Special attack, what is it? I don't think I have heard of Synthesis, but I do know about Leaf Blade. Today, Xiaozhi's knowledge of Pokémon is still very shallow. He has no idea how to distinguish between special attack and physical attack, special defense and physical defense. He even didn't know the effects of many skills. The Sun Flame is because Bulbasaur has learned it, so he knows it. Leaf Blade was used by Sceptile. Facing Xiaozhi's question, many champions did not answer for a while. Mainly, they were shocked by this carry-on. After the Feather of Rainbow Light, here comes another bug-like prop, the branches of the World Tree. The increase in grass skills is quite satisfactory, but the increase in leaf slash is really outrageous. In addition to Leaf Blade slashing, there are also several subsequent skill special effects. Sunny Flame is a great trick of the grass type. In the case of Sunny Day, you don't need stockpile and can be used in one turn. 0. Please give me flowers. But what is said in the introduction does not mean that stockpile is not needed, but it means instant. Advertisement. Instant skills, normal or all small skills, similar to quick attack, flamethrower, etc. Like the sun's rays, even if there is a sunny day, it still takes a few seconds to absorb the light. And the branches of this world tree are so terrifying. The same is true for Synthesis. Plus Leaf Storm with no side effects. In terms of quality, this branch is definitely no worse than the Feather of Rainbow Light. A feather, a branch. What's going on in this world? You, who knows about World Tree? Faced with Lance's inquiry, everyone shook their heads. Even the knowledgeable Cynthia and the stone expert Stephen Stone, two champions who hang out in the ruins all day long, don't know. Not to mention the other champions. Although I don't understand the knowledge of World Tree, that old guy might know it. Quote. Old guy, who is it? Bruno asked confused. Grandma Agatha, are you talking about Professor Oak? Humph, who else could it be besides him? In the face of Agatha's cold snort, even the invincible dragon messenger didn't dare to say anything casually. It was just a look that told Lorelei to make a phone call quickly. Oak and Agatha had a history of relationship disputes when they were young. Although the two of them are apparently estranged from each other, the Elite Four all know that. Agatha never puts down big things. Hello, Professor Oak. I'm Lorelei. Quote. Yes, I have something to ask you. Do you know about the World Tree? Why do we need to understand the World Tree? Well, the reward Xiaozhi received was a carrying object called a branch of the World Tree. This carrying object has magical power. So we want to find out what kind of divine object the World Tree is. 0. Professor Oak is the most famous scholar in the world. And his character is quite guaranteed. In addition, he is Xiaozhi's first professor. Therefore, even if you tell Professor Oak about the branches of the World Tree, there will be no problem. Quote, hands free. Okay. With that said, Kay turned on the hands-free button on the mobile phone in his hand. Then, an energetic voice came from the mobile phone. Xiaozhi, you actually got the branches of the World Tree. Together with the Rainbow Wing before, these are already two divine things. Xiaozhi told the Rainbow Wing about it. I told Professor Oak and my mother, after all, Xiaozhi's character is like this. I actually don't know much about the origin of this World Tree. But what is certain is that the existence level of World Tree is the highest level in the world. And, it is recorded in history that the scene of the World Tree contains the existence of Mew. Many champions look surprised. World Tree is unfamiliar to them, but Mew is not unfamiliar to them. According to legend, Mew is the ancestor of all dreams. Its existence can be said to be the top Pokémon among the fantasy Pokémon. There are even rumors that Mew can use any move in the world. But, Mew hasn't appeared in front of people for a long time. Yulongdu has heard that. There are rumors of Mew appearing in Ordran City in Kanto region. But he never delved into it. After all, he is an investigator, not a Pokémon hunter. Not only did he not look for Mew's existence. Instead, all the news about Mew in Ordran City was covered up. Unaware of the shock of many champions, Professor Oak continued. It is rumored that the World Tree and Mew are both prosperous and damaged. No one knows where the World Tree exists. The World Tree has magical power, and there is majestic vitality in its body. It is said that in its body, it has the powerful power to nourish an entire planet. The World Tree is the world's most powerful tree. Sleepy roots. It is precisely because of the existence of the World Tree that this world is so stable. The above is the news I know about the World Tree. By the way, Xiaozhi. If you have time, lend me a branch of the World Tree to study. Anyway, you don't have a Trico yet, do you? At the end of the sentence, Professor Oak's tone was a little flattering. The feather of rainbow light is directly integrated into Charizard's body, and I don't know how to take it out. But the branches of this World Tree are different. Let's not talk about whether it will be integrated into Sceptile's body. Let's just say that Xiaozhi doesn't even have Sceptile yet. It's not too much to borrow it for research, right? Please Professor Oak, don't use such a disgusting tone. Xiaozhi first disliked Professor Oak, and then said firmly. If Professor Oak needs it, I will give it to you tonight. After all, Professor Oak, you have helped me a lot. Now all the Pokémon he has captured, more than 6, are stored in Professor Oak's backyard. The wealth of breeder Pokémon is definitely a huge expense. Xiaozhi is naturally grateful to Professor Oak for helping him so much. Therefore, Professor Oak wants branches of the World Tree to study. Xiaozhi lent it to Yin Dabo without even thinking about it. Chapter 87. New Series Inventory. How Bonds Are Made. Advertisement. Hearing Xiaozhi's straightforward answer, Professor Oak was also stunned. Then he smiled. Haha, thank you in advance Xiaozhi. No need to trouble you to come over, I will go there later. Are you at Steven's temporary residence now? I will come later. The two exchanged pleasantries for a few words before hanging up the phone. Professor Oak's laboratory. Professor Oak slowly put down the phone. Then he shook his head and took out his last resort album and took a look at it. Xiaozhi, you don't need to be too grateful to me, because we are friends, so I will always help you. Do you really think Professor Oak's laboratory is a charity? Anyone can stay here. Professor Oak does have a good heart, but he is not a good person. Helping people take care of Pokémon is not only difficult. And the money spent is an astronomical amount. Xiaozhi already has 30 Tauros stored with him. That is, only Xiaozhi can send samples to him, and Gary. A person's kindness is not without reason. Professor Oak is no exception. If you don't know the origin, you can watch the movie version of Celebi's Encounter Through Time. As for those rumors about Professor Oak and Xiaozhi's mother, just listen to it for fun. Don't take it seriously, this kind of joke is actually quite low. Professor Oak is really resolute. Watching Professor Oak quickly hang up the phone. Xiaozhi couldn't help but sigh. Even though I am getting old, I still have so much energy. That old man was like this when he was young. He just focused his energy on Pokémon battles. Later, he changed his mind and became a professor. He really made a name for himself. Mother-in-law Agatha, Professor was once a trainer. The Xiaozhi trio were extremely shocked. They did not expect that the famous Professor Oak. He was actually born as a trainer at the beginning. 807. Especially Xiaoging. He thought Professor Oak had been aiming to be a professor since he was a child. He is more than just a trainer. He is, forget it, children shouldn't know so much. Agatha's words stopped suddenly, making Xiaozhi and others feel itchy. Cynthia and others on the side looked at Xiaozhi's silly expression and couldn't help laughing. Professor Oak's past. Among the older generation of trainers, it was very popular. For champions like Cynthia and Steven who have inherited families. Naturally, I know a lot about it. For the Kanto Elite Four, not to mention. It is quite normal that young people have never heard of Xiaozhi's words. By the way, what will be the next inventory? The time has almost reached 10 minutes. The next inventory is about to begin. Everyone is speculating on what series will be held next. I think it should be a special inventory, right? After all, normally, isn't there 2 normal inventories and 1 special inventory a day? Not necessarily. In the past, the second game was a special inventory, but now the second game has been replaced by a divine battle. So the third round of inventory may involve other series of inventory. Everyone talked and everyone had their own guess. Soon, time passed by. Subtitles began to appear on the big screen. The third round of inventory begins today, and this time a new series of inventory will begin. Close black lens bracket. Inventory of how to make bonds, Sceptile chapter. There is no guessing in this inventory, and those who make the list will receive rewards. Close black lens bracket. This inventory will randomly enter the question answering mode, please be prepared. Close black lens bracket. New inventory series. Although the inventory of the War Between Gods is also very good looking. But there are still many people looking forward to the new inventory series. I thought it would take some time before it was released. Unexpectedly, this talented person has already released a new inventory series. And this inventory seems to be telling the story of Xiaozhi Sceptile just now. In the review just now, many people have become fans of Sceptile. That unwavering will, handsome appearance, and powerful performance. All quite attractive. Everyone is also very curious about how Xiaozhi Sceptile was trained to reach that level. What kind of encounter is it? Only then can Xiaozhi and Sceptile have such a strong bond. It can even break through Darkrai's black hole and awaken Sceptile from his nightmare. All the answers lie in this inventory. But it is a pity that there is no guessing in this series of inventory. Otherwise, read this title. No matter what choice you have, Xiaozhi is definitely the right choice. Although there is no betting. However, this time the inventory actually showed the answering pattern from the second inventory. Many people who think they have a complete reserve of knowledge are already gearing up. What about Sceptile's story? I'm really looking forward to it. The one I'm most looking forward to is Xiaozhi himself. After all, what is told here is his story in the future. Advertisement. Almost most people are very curious about their future. Xiaozhi is naturally no exception. Soon, the inventory officially began. The opening image is of a huge forest. As the camera zoomed in, a 1,000-year-old tree appeared in everyone's eyes. It's just that although this ancient tree towers to the top, the life of the tree seems to have been wiped out by the changing sea in the field. Today's ancient trees only have a trace of vitality left and will wither completely at any time. On this ancient tree, a lizard-like Pokémon was sitting on the tree. Grass green body, rose red belly, big yellow eyes. The most conspicuous thing is, there is also a small branch in its mouth. This is none other than one of Hoenn's 3 grass-type royal families, Trico. Without too much introduction, everyone will understand that this is a very unique Trico. It's what Xiaozhi's Sceptile looks like before it grows up. It turns out that brother Xiaozhi's Sceptile has liked to hold branches in his mouth since he was a child. Not to mention, he is really cool with the branch in his mouth. He feels like a lonely guest at the end of the world. Yes, plus that handsome slash from before, how do you look like a wandering swordsman? As long as he's handsome, that's it. The emergence of Trico has people all over the world talking about it. Xiaozhi's Sceptile has indeed been very distinctive since he was a child. 1,000-year-old trees in Hoenn region. Trico, who was still sitting on the 1,000-year-old tree, was stunned when he saw the scene on the screen. Then I quickly realized that the Trico in the picture, isn't it him? He grew up here in the ancient tree and did not recognize human writing. But his keen intuition told him. The handsome Sceptile in the inventory before. It's probably him. Am I so powerful in the future? Am I giving up the home where I was born and raised? Trico first doubted the possibility of his future strength. Then he doubted whether he had abandoned the ancient tree he was guarding just for the sake of becoming stronger. I would never do such a thing. Trico's eyes are firm. He is a stubborn Pokémon and will never look back until he breaks the southern wall. If the price of becoming so strong in the future is to give up the home that we protect now, then he would rather not be that powerful. In the screen. After Trico appears at the beginning, the scene switches to other places. A young man wearing a red and black hat appeared in everyone's sight. Everyone is very familiar with it. Pallet Town, Xiaozhi. Next to him was a young man with black skin and squinting eyes. Plus a similar age Stephanie, and a child. Apparently, this is Xiaozhi's traveling companion in the Hoenn region. Hoenn region, Petalburg Gym. A head of blue hair. The man in a reddish-brown jacket couldn't help but be stunned when he saw the scene on the screen. The two people around Xiaozhi. He looked at the two siblings beside him who were also stunned. No one thought that Xiaozhi's two traveling companions in the picture were his daughter and son. Unexpectedly, his daughter and son would travel with that Xiaozhi. I'm afraid you will see many wonderful things during your journey. Petalburg Gym leader Norman thought. Steven's residence. Misty's fists couldn't help but clenched. Another one. Which number is this? This guy Xiaozhi. How many female companions do I need to change before I am satisfied? Why do I have a female companion every time I travel? Damn it, where was I then? On the contrary, it's Xiaogang. He appears more times than her. A group of 4 people were walking on the road, and then they found out to their embarrassment that they were lost. So the little boy started to accuse Stephanie. Stephanie also confidently said that she chose the wrong path because this path is more beautiful. During the quarrel between the two, the people watching learned that Stephanie's name is Mei. The boy's name is Xiao Sheng. The two of them are brother and sister to each other. After a while of fighting, Xiaozhi, who was watching the fun, suddenly noticed something happening. Then everyone turned their attention. I found many Trico appearing on the trees nearby. You must know that Trico is a member of Usangia. It is also quite rare in the wild. Unexpectedly, Xiaozhi met so many animals at once. It also makes people sigh. Xiaozhi's luck is really good. But then, Xiaozhi did something ridiculous. That is, throw a Pokeball directly at Trico. Without being reduced in physical strength, the Pokeball was easily knocked back by Trico. Later, Xiaozhi was scolded by Stephanie next to him. Advertisement. Wallace. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect Xiaozhi, who just came to Hoenn, to do such a beginner's behavior. Close black lens bracket. You Longdu. In fact, normal beginners also know that there is no way to conquer Pokemon without fighting. I can only say that Xiaozhi is even more of a beginner than a beginner. Sydney. Xiaozhi is like a newbie after changing regions, ha 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 ha. How come there are still people who lose the ball without fighting? How do you conquer Pokemon like this? The Pokemon you conquer will definitely not listen to you. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Xiaozhi just forgets every day. Listen to what Mei said. In the beginning, Xiaozhi taught Mei that she needed to fight before she could throw the ball. But then she turned around and forgot. 0. Stephen. That's why I was taught a lesson by this little girl who was just starting out. How can there be someone in the world who can conquer Pokemon with a ball without fighting? If there is such a person, then the relationship between him and Pokemon. There must be no bonds. Close black lens bracket. Xiaozhi. His funny behavior also made everyone burst into laughter. He actually forgot that he needed to fight to conquer Pokemon. Xiaozhi is really mad. There was no one-ball Superman until a dog appeared. When Xiaozhi woke up and prepared to use Pikachu to conquer Trico. All the Tricos have fled in unison. Upon seeing this, Xiaozhi hurriedly chased after him, but what he didn't expect was. Behind the dense jungle, there turned out to be a long landslide. In everyone's shocked eyes, Xiaozhi slipped and fell. He landed on his butt and rubbed all the way down. Finally, Xiaozhi was safe and sound. Guigi, whatever material brother Xiaozhi's clothes are made of, my clothes would have been ruined long ago. Haha, my butt would be on fire. Brother Xiaozhi didn't do anything at all. He is indeed a mega rookie. Amid the discussion, Xiaozhi crawled out from the bottom of the pit and came to the dead thousand-year-old tree. There, he meets Trico. After experiencing a series of things. Plus Rocket Meowth's translation, everyone understood that the Trico was born from this tree. So he wants to protect this tree all the time. Let alone be conquered by others. So how did Xiaozhi conquer Trico? Was it force? The next image gave everyone the answer. In order to conquer Trico, Xiaozhi sneaked up to the branches of the ancient tree and crouched against him. However, he saw a scene that shocked him. Trico walked far away day and night. Use a huge leaf to water this thousand-year-old tree that is about to wither. They even go to various places to use leafage to maintain this ancient tree. Many people were moved by his persistence. After all, in the eyes of normal people, this ancient tree has long had no chance of survival. But Trico still wants to continue to protect it. Xiaozhi gave up the idea of conquering Trico and came to Trico with Pikachu. He offered to work with him to nourish this thousand-year-old tree. Just like that, there are two more people who do stupid things. Wallace. No wonder Trico is willing to follow Xiaozhi, it turns out that Xiaozhi is willing to be stupid with him. Close black lens bracket. Yulongdu. Trico must have been moved by Xiaozhi's behavior and finally gave up the ancient tree and traveled with Xiaozhi. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Haha, even if someone has the opportunity that Xiaozhi has, I'm afraid there are not many people in the world who can do what Xiaozhi does. Close black lens bracket. Team Plasma Headquarters. Bond. Ridiculous. It's just a few words and disguised actions to deceive. Does this Trico really think there are such stupid people in the world? Oh, this Trico also said that he wanted to protect this ancient tree for the rest of his life. In the end, he ended up traveling with that kid. That's all the so-called keeping of promises. Huichi 5.7c now has a lot of opinions on Xiaozhi. This also makes him have a strong opinion on everything around Xiaozhi. In addition, he doesn't believe in such things as bonds, so he makes fun of them. Promise. Bond. That's bullshit. Wait until I finish Team Plasma's control machine. There will be no bonds in this world. Just when everyone thought things would go as Yulongdu said. When Trico was moved by Xiaozhi's behavior and took the initiative to be subdued by Xiaozhi. Changes abound. The Team Rocket trio are out to cause trouble. They captured Trico's tribe and even planned to attack Pikachu. Only then did people realize that Team Rocket is still Team Rocket after all. What we think and do is still bad, even if it is a rocket. But, as Cynthia said before, it seems like Team Rocket always does good things with bad intentions. Trico used flexible actions to make Team Rocket play around. Finally, he seduced Desert Naia to use Pin Missile to break the air balloon. The Rockets trio turned into stars and left. The Trico tribe and Pikachu were successfully saved by Trico. Afterwards, Elder Trico also expressed his understanding of Trico's behavior. No more trying to dissuade him from leaving the thousand-year-old tree. However, despite the understanding of his companions, the 1,000-year-old tree that was about to wither. But in front of them, it broke into two halves. This is caused by Team Rocket's trouble just now. The roots of nearby 1,000-year-old trees were dug up by Team Rocket's excavator. Therefore, the 1,000-year-old tree that was about to wither could no longer support itself. It broke directly into two halves. Trico looked at the ancient tree in a daze, unable to believe it for a moment. Everyone wanted to put the ancient tree back together properly. Xiaozhi even took out a rope. Want to use force. At this moment, an image appeared in front of them. Chapter 88. Jesse's Megaton Jump Kick, Xiaozhi's Bullet Seed. Advertisement. The sun gradually rises, and its dazzling light shines through the ancient trees onto everyone. Under this light, everyone saw an incredible image. That is, the growth process of this ancient tree. There was only one tree in this dense jungle. However, as the tree grows vigorously, it keeps sowing seeds around it. As a result, what was originally a barren area turned into the dense jungle it is now. Unfortunately, the surrounding trees grew, and this towering tree turned into a withered old tree. Until today, his life has ended. However, in the middle of the break, a huge seed popped out. This seed is his new life. In the future, new towering trees will appear. This is the replacement of the old with the new. The ancient tree was completely broken, and Trico had no reason to continue guarding here. Then he proposed a fight to Xiaozhi. Although Xiaozhi did so many stupid things with him. However, you still have to go through the process. During the battle, the trapped palace showed great agility. Even Xiaozhi's Pikachu can't keep up. But this makes sense. After all, Pikachu, who has just entered Hoenn, has been washed up. Theoretically, only 20% of the strength exists in the body. In the end, Pikachu defeated Trico beautifully and finally subdued him. The story that started between Xiaozhi and Trico ends here. 1,000-year-old trees in Hoenn region. Trico slumped on the ground helplessly. Unexpectedly, ancient trees will be artificially broken into pieces in the future. The death of the ancient tree is still a big blow to him now. However, Trico is a strong child. Under this heavy blow, it only took him less than 5 minutes to calm down. It's only a matter of time before the ancient tree dies. The rockets are just accelerating it. It is precisely because Team Rocket accelerated the demise of the ancient tree. That's why he was able to discover as soon as possible. It turns out that there is also a child in the body of the ancient tree. And didn't let him miss the trainer that was most suitable for him. Not because the promise was not kept, but because the promise has been fulfilled. He really stayed with this ancient tree and protected it until the end. Next, the thing he wants to protect will have to be changed. Trico looked at the childish smiling face in the picture. Xiaozhi from Pallet Town, let me see if you are a trainer worthy of my protection. You Longdu. Huh, Team Rocket is indeed Team Rocket. Even those three people are always thinking of doing bad things. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. But, the bad things they did this time helped Xiaozhi once again. It can be said that without them, I'm afraid Trico wouldn't have made up his mind to follow Xiaozhi so quickly. Close black lens bracket. Steven. Cynthia is right, others do bad things with good intentions, but they do good things with good intentions. Close black lens bracket. If it weren't for Team Rocket, I'm afraid Xiaozhi, the Mega General, would have missed out. Jetsis was so angry that she couldn't speak. Just now I was talking about bonds and commitments, so ridiculous. Now it seems that he is the one who is ridiculous. Fortunately, there was Akroma next to him, so no one else laughed at him. Otherwise, he would probably kill someone and silence him. Damn it, why did we help the little devil again? Didn't we promise to do bad things? I've done it. I've already done it, meow. But the little devil destroys it every time. Sigh, don't we have the potential to do bad things? Boom. Jesse punched James hard on the head. What nonsense are you talking about? We are the most evil villains in the world. Those failures are just for better success. Yes, meow. We are working hard to develop new robots. I know that there is a training method for Gundam in the store, meow. That robot called Gundam seems to be very powerful, meow. How much? Only 50 million, meow. Good quality and low price. Jesse James. Their total current funding is only a few million. You need 50 million to practice a method. This is called high quality and low price. Are you crazy or are we crazy? Let's not mention Team Rocket's evil plan for now, the image continues. After conquering Trico, everyone continued traveling. As you can see in the picture, a group of 4 people are already on the way having a meal. At this moment, a viper with huge teeth appeared in front of May Torchic. Why is it called viper? Anyone with a discerning eye can tell right away. The sharp red fangs, the sharp tail like a blade, the dark body and the terrifying face. It doesn't look like a Pokémon that's easy to get along with. This wild Seviper not only ate Torchic's food, even Torchic wants to eat it. At this moment, Trico appeared in time and protected Torchic. After a struggle, Trico was accidentally hit by Seviper's poison jab and was seriously injured. Xiaozhi directly asked Pikachu to use Thunder to drive away Seviper. Then he quickly took Trico to the nearest Pokémon Center. Koga. This Seviper has good skills in the poison path. Karen. Cold, cunning, even evil-type Pokémon don't have such a bad character. Advertisement. Sydney. Hey, you are also a user of evil Pokémon, so don't slander evil Pokémon like this. Although evil Pokémon are called evil, they are all kind and lovely guys. Close black lens bracket. Karen. Nonsense. You don't have to say it. I just said that Seviper is cold and vicious. Close black lens bracket. Opening square bracket, closing square bracket. The two evil elites actually got into a fight on the barrage. Steven raised his forehead and smiled bitterly. Why are these two people acting like children? Image continues. The scene changed. After Seviper was driven away, he unexpectedly met the trio of Team Rocket. And the Team Rocket trio are getting ready for dinner. They spend money on hot air balloons and robots all year round. When traveling in the wild, you basically eat one meal after another when you are hungry, and the meal you eat may not necessarily make you full. 3 people can only eat one rice ball. It can be said that this is the worst villain there is. You might say they are good people, but they do all sorts of evil things. You said they were bad people. Even if they were so hungry, they didn't even think about using Pokémon to grab some food outside. What should I say? When Seviper saw the trio, he immediately set his sights on their rice balls. In contrast, the trio also set their sights on the powerful Seviper. So the two sides started fighting. After a fierce battle, their only offensive Pokémon, Desert Naia, was defeated. Wobbuffet had no way to fight back. Just when the rice ball was about to be snatched away by Seviper, Jessie rushed out regardless of her own safety and snatched food from the snake's mouth. However, the rice ball was taken down, and Jessie's hip-length hair was bitten off. Jessie. How dare he? How dare he? Calm down. Jessie. Calm down. This is not your hair. No, this is not your current hair. It is the future. The future. Just be careful in the future. Yeah, meow. James and Meowth caught Jessie in time. Otherwise, Jessie will have to fight the Tiandao inventory screen. Hearing this, Jessie calmed down. Yes, her hair is still fine now. Fortunately, the hair that was broken was not her current hair. But now Jessie has calmed down, but the Jessie in the image can't calm down. The fire called rage is burning behind Jessie. As the most important part of actress, her hair is now broken here. Unforgivable. Absolutely unforgivable. Eat me crazy fury swipes. Jessie stepped forward, grabbed her hands, and started slashing wildly on Seviper's face. After a while, countless scars appeared on Seviper's face. At this time, Seviper was completely stunned. Jessie's terrifying pressure made him feel like he was facing the mythical beast normal. Can't move at all. Then Jessie jumped and then kicked away like a mighty force. Black's heel kicked Seviper's head hard. It almost broke Seviper's head. It's a megaton jump kick. Meow. Meowth, who was hugging James in fear, said tremblingly. With one kick, Seviper almost fainted. Seviper, even if he ate a thunder from Pikachu, it wouldn't be a big deal. He was almost beaten by Jessie with his bare hands and lost the ability to fight. It's so terrifying. Yulongdu. What the hell? Did I read that right? Wowsow. Bruno. I think, Lance, you must be right. This Team Rocket's Jessie is too scary. Close black lens bracket. Lien Wu. I am ashamed. After practicing strength for so long, I dare not say that I am stronger than that lady named Jessie. And, Jessie can even use normal skills. It's really indescribable. Lien Wu, fighting elite from Unova region. The tight and voluptuous muscles are no worse than Bruno. He is also someone who is committed to the concept of improving the body to be comparable to Pokémon. But after meeting Mega Heart Man and Mega Rocket Man one after another, he had doubts about his own training methods. Such a physique, can it really be improved by people? Kato. So, is there such a strong woman in the world? I have decided that my goal in the future is to become as strong as Jessie. Close black lens bracket. Kato thought that she, who could barely compete with Machamp, was already considered the strongest among humans. But when she saw Xiaozhi's strength, she felt a little ashamed. So she lowered the standard to the strongest woman among humans. But today, Jessie from Team Rocket taught her a hard lesson. It turns out, she's still far behind. She can't even use Pokémon's moves, so how can she be considered the strongest human being? You have to work hard, Kato. Jessie. So scary. James and Meowth were trembling on the side. It turns out that Jessie is scarier than they imagined. Haha, I'm not that powerful. This is not a compliment to you. Jessie actually has this kind of strength. 0. Please give me flowers. Giovanni's impression of Jessie changed. This kind of combat power is comparable to that of humanoid Pokémon. Sure enough, the mother and daughter are not fuel-efficient lamps. Advertisement. Archer Ariana and others watching on the side couldn't help but feel a little frightened. They don't do this at all. Jessie, a low-class person who looks down upon her, can actually possess such terrifying combat power. If you get too anxious and challenge them in person, 10 of them won't even be enough to fight. It's better to be careful in the future. In the image. After Jesse beat up Seviper, Team Rocket and others subdued him and became one of their own. And on the other side, Trico was seriously injured by Seviper's poison jab and began to spite his own weakness. So he ran to a nearby waterfall to practice while his injury was still recovering. Xiaozhi and others were watching secretly nearby. Because Trico has a very strong self-esteem, even if Xiaozhi tries to stop him. I'm afraid Trico won't stop doing this either. So Xiaozhi can only stand up again when Trico can't hold on anymore. But the final result is good. Trico successfully used top-down rotational acceleration to enhance the power of Pound. Let Pound have the power to crack mountains and crack rocks. After completing the special training, the Rockets came to visit us again. The amazing thing is, Jesse's hair has somehow recovered. I don't know what kind of hair growth agent was used. Or use glue to stick it on. The second battle between Trico and Seviper. After a period of entanglement, Trico successfully used the enhanced Pound to open Seviper's mind. Afterwards, let Pikachu use Thunder to send them away. 0. Within one day, I suffered 2 consecutive blows to my head. I don't know if Seviper's brain will work well in the future. After this short story ends, the bond between Trico and Xiaozhi continues. During the subsequent journey, Xiaozhi fought against 2 gyms in succession. Trico unfortunately lost in the first gym. In the second gym, Trico defeated the evolved Super King and successfully helped Xiaozhi win a badge. It can be seen from the story that the bond between Trico and Xiaozhi is slowly increasing. On the way, Xiaozhi and others came to a watermelon field. Because Xiaozhi had fought against a Shiftry all the time, and the opponent's bullet seed was still fresh in his memory. So he was inspired to use watermelon seeds to practice bullet seed. Then, something happened that shocked everyone again. Xiaozhi released Trico. Then, watch Trico, this is how bullet seed is used. With that said, Xiaozhi took a big mouthful of watermelon, and then shot out the watermelon seeds like a machine gun normal. Its huge power even made a small hole in the ground. Open black lens bracket Yulongdu. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Steven. Close black lens bracket. B. Erica. No way. Can Xiaozhi even use bullet seed? How outrageous. Even more outrageous than the Megaton jump kick just now. Lian Wu. Megaton jump kick. Crazy fury swipes. Human power is still possible. Bullet seed. Cynthia. Xiaozhi is indeed different. Could it be that he is a humanoid Pokémon? Close black lens bracket. Alder. It's not impossible. Chitaro's current power and even his moves are no worse than those of normal Pokémon. Close black lens bracket. Kato. Xiaozhi, if I have a chance, I will come to Kanto from the Galar region to compete with you. Close black lens bracket. The skills and moves used by Jesse are still physical normal moves. But Xiaozhi is completely different this time. This is a grass-type bullet seed. Although there is no energy light. But this does not affect the powerful power of Xiaozhi spitting out bullet seed. Xiaozhi behaves like a humanoid Pokémon normal. How terrifying. Under Xiaozhi's guidance, Trico gradually learned bullet seed. But the proficiency is not even comparable to that of Xiaozhi. This further confirmed the audience's suspicion that Xiaozhi is a humanoid Pokémon. Subsequently, Trico fought with the half-baked bullet seed and its evolved Grovyle. In the end, I unfortunately lost because my moves were not skilled enough. During the break after the battle, Xiaozhi and Pikachu used watermelon seeds to attack Trico as a prank. In a fit of anger, Chang Shui directly used the complete bullet seed. The audience never expected that. Trico's bullet seed was fully acquired out of anger and shame. After learning bullet seed, Xiaozhi and others continued traveling, and some less important scenes flashed by. It is worth mentioning that Xiaozhi used Trico to fight on the 4th fire gym. Although it is the inverse attribute. But Trico's quick speed and powerful attack power still laid a solid foundation for Xiaozhi's victory. Asha. Xiaozhi is really powerful. It seems I have to continue practicing. Close black lens bracket. Seeing that she was defeated in the count, Yasha also had mixed feelings. This also strengthened her determination to continue practicing, and she will definitely have a wonderful battle with Xiaozhi and the others in the future. Chapter 89. Hoenn Region Gym is difficult. Don't you see what hell Kanto is? Advertisement. After defeating the 4th gym, Labyrinth Gym, Xiaozhi and his team moved on. There were many battles, big and small, along the way. Until one time, Xiaozhi fought against a person holding Loudred on the roadside. Both sides bloomed with the luster of evolution almost at the same time. It has a green body and a long leaf growing out of its head. The arms grow 3 blade-like green leaves. The tail also becomes flat. This is the evolution of Trico, Grovyle. Loudred evolved into Exploud, and Xiaozhi's Trico finally evolved into Grovyle. And he learned the signature trick of the Trico family, Leaf Blade. After a handsome leaf blade chop, Grovyle cut off a new branch and put it on his mouth. This means that he now has a completely new attitude. Cynthia. Big and small battles have finally allowed Trico to evolve. Now Grovyle looks a bit like Sceptile when he uses Leaf Blade to slash. Bruno. Grovyle breeder is indeed good, but, even if it evolves into Sceptile, it is not that easy to grow to a level that can fight Darkrai. To be honest. You Longdu. To be honest, this Grovyle is actually nothing special, right? Close black lens bracket. You Longdu. I think so too. Although he is faster than the normal Grovyle in terms of speed, apart from his personality and speed and holding a branch in his mouth, he is not actually any better than other Grovyles. Close black lens bracket. Alder. Maybe. Grovyle's strength is not just related to Grovyle. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. That's right. The Pokémon in Xiaozhi's hand are actually not extremely talented Pokémon. But, they can grow to be very powerful, even on top of the world, all because of the bond between them and Xiaozhi. Close black lens bracket. Professor Buratano. Bond has always been an elusive magical power in this world. Let's see what happens to Grovyle and Xiaozhi in the future. I think it will be Grovyle, or Sceptile's turning point. Close black lens bracket. Many sharp-eyed trainers, or some grass-type specialized trainers, can see that. Although Xiaozhi's Grovyle has been trained very well, he is also aloof and considerate of his companions. But, his current growth is actually not worthy of his future record of defeating Darkrai. Perhaps as O3 Professor Oak said, Grovyle himself may not have such a strong talent, but together with Xiaozhi, they will have a magical chemical reaction. This is the key to Sceptile becoming so powerful in the future, even killing gods. In the image, after evolving at home, Grovyle's moves have been fully supplemented. Quick Attack, Leaf Blade, Agility, Double Team, Fury Cutter, X Scissor. Compared with before, I have no more moves and can only use Pound constantly. Trico, who also has the low-power Bullet Seed to fight with, is simply incomparable. During the subsequent trip, Xiaozhi and others came to the Petalburg Gym. From the conversation between Xiaozhi and Mei and others, we learned that Xiaozhi had already arrived at the Petalburg Gym at the beginning. However, the Petalburg Gym requires 3 Pokémon for official battles. Xiaozhi placed all the Pokémon he had captured in Professor Oak's laboratory for foster care. Therefore, at the beginning, with only Pikachu, he had no way to officially challenge the Petalburg Gym. Although a friendly war was fought, the outcome was still undecided. This time when I go back, I will officially fight against the Petalburg Gym. Steven. Oh, is Xiaozhi going to challenge the Petalburg Gym now? Mr. Norman must not use his full strength. Close black lens bracket. Wallace. Indeed, after all, that is the man who is called the next Elite Four. He already has elite level power. Close black lens bracket. Yulongdu. Are other region gyms also good? Professor Kukui. Actually, I think, the gyms in the Kanto region are outrageous. I have fought against the full power Koga Gym Leader, Giovanni Gym Leader, Blaine Gym Leader, and Sabrina Gym Leader. Yulongdu. Well, then it's okay. As Professor Kukui said, in terms of difficulty, the difficulty of Kanto Gym is called abnormal. If you don't send half a dozen badges, I'm afraid I won't be able to defeat Kanto Gym. Sabrina, the gym leader of Saffron City. He is an extremely powerful psychic throughout Kanto and even the entire world. Its psychic power is probably comparable to that of the normal elite level psychic Pokémon. Without being waterproof, she is definitely an elite level fighter. Except for Kukui, there are actually very few stupid people who go to Saffron City to fight against Nadu. After all, there are rumors that if you fail to fight Sabrina, you will be turned into a doll to play with her for a few days. Just hearing this rumor gave Lance a chill. Turning into a doll, what a terrifying psychic. As for Blaine from the Cinnabar Gym, he was also an extremely powerful trainer back in the day. Now that he is getting older, all his friends from the older generation, except the duck-billed fire dragon, have gone to retire. Even the duck-billed fire dragon's current strength has actually dropped a lot. But the Blaine that Kukui faced back then was definitely close to a quasi-elite in strength. In Koga's words, on the surface, he is an ordinary ninja poison master. In fact, he has already confirmed to take over as the poison elite of the Chengdu region. He is working hard, as you can imagine. The last Giovanni, Jiwan Gym is known as the strongest gym in the Kanto region. Everyone who understands understands. Giovanni of the Earth is not a boaster. However, recently there seems to be clues pointing to Giovanni, who is said to be the leader of Team Rocket. Advertisement. Lance naturally didn't believe this, and Kaori was half convinced. How could Giovanni be the leader of Team Rocket? When he was in Joban City, he often did charity. It's just that there's often no one at the Viridian Gym lately, and I don't know what Giovanni is doing. Did you go on vacation? I digress. In fact, there are not only 8 gyms in Kanto, but strictly speaking, there are more than a dozen. It's just, Professor Kukui just found the 4 strongest gyms to challenge. Lance didn't know what to say. Steven. Those gyms Kukui mentioned just now, aren't all of them equivalent to the existence of the Petalburg Gym? Close black lens bracket. N. Wallace. Wowsow. What kind of hell dungeon are you Kanto? We already think it's outrageous to have one elite as the gym leader, but you have 4. Blaine. No, no, I no longer have elite strength. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Norman. No, Blaine is still strong. Close black lens bracket. Norman bubbled. Nowadays, everyone is talking about him, and it won't work if he doesn't come out to show his presence. But even he didn't expect that there would be so many elite-level gyms in the Kanto region. This is indeed a veritable copy of hell. Drake. Oh, Norman is out. Seeing that you are about to fight Xiaozhi in the future, what do you want to say? Close black lens bracket. Norman. If I face Xiaozhi, I should use a lot of strength. Close black lens bracket. Using a lot of strength means not using all your strength. After all, Xiaozhi can travel for a year at most, right? It is somewhat difficult for him to fight against elite in 1 year. Actually, Xiaozhi can play against elite after traveling for a year, but again, Xiaozhi is too strong and I can't continue to write the script. I have no choice but to chop a few times. In addition, regarding the settings of Koga and Sabrina, some are rumors, and some are special chapters. Sabrina's strength is indeed vague, but the strength of Koga Elite is certain. After all, the official setting is Johto Region Poison Elite. Petalburg Gym. Xiaosheng, who is still young, chirped. Dad is the strongest. He will definitely not lose to Xiaozhi. Although Xiaozhi is very powerful, he still can't compare with Dad. But if Dad lets it slide, it's not impossible for Xiaozhi to win. After all, he's been traveling with us for so long, so it's only natural for Dad to give him a badge. Xiaosheng. Norman interrupted what Xiaosheng was saying. I saw him speaking to Xiaosheng with a serious expression. Gym battle, or Pokemon battle is a sacred thing. I won't let you down just because you are traveling together. I won't use my full strength because Xiaozhi's current strength has not reached that level yet. Gym battles test the challenger's command level, character, and Pokemon's power combined. If I keep using my full strength, there won't be many people in Hoenn who can challenge the Petalburg Gym. Gym badge is a strong proof that the challenger's strength is recognized by our gym owners. It is not a family heirloom. Xiaosheng. Don't think that Dad can't lose. There are many people in the world who are better than Dad. Dad is not the world's mightiest. There is no person in the world who never loses. If he doesn't lose, that's just not the time yet. Norman's words confused Xiaosheng, who was still a child. However, even though he is still a child, Xiaosheng actually knows more things than other children. Otherwise, in the video, Norman would not agree to Xiaosheng and Xiaozhi going on a trip. Xiaosheng naturally understood what Norman said. Precisely because he understands, it is more difficult for him to accept. In his heart, Dad is the strongest. He cannot lose. Now his father told him personally that he was not the strongest. It's just that the strength is stronger than most trainers. Most refer to 99%. Xiaosheng will probably have to absorb this piece of information for a long time. Mei is much older than Xiaosheng, so she naturally knows this truth more thoroughly. Looking at myself and Xiaozhi on the screen stepping into the Petalburg Gym. She didn't know who was better to support. After all, she also has a good impression of Xiaozhi, who takes her on the journey and assumes the position of her leader. At least they are quite friendly friends. So, my father and my friends. I feel very torn about which one I support. Under the spotlight, the gym battle at the Petalburg Gym finally begins. Xiaozhi started with Pikachu, and Norman is a lazy guy. Everyone is living in Bungbu. Let go of water, you are going too far, right? Lazy man, lazy ability coupled with his cheap race and slow movement. Wasn't he hung up and beaten by Pikachu? However, the result was unexpected. The lazy man relied on his magical skill of swaying. Successfully knocked Pikachu unconscious. Use stillness to break, the last move comes first. Advertisement. Pikachu is proud of his speed, but there is nothing he can do about it. No matter what kind of attack it is, he can dodge it with tiny movements. What a waste. This is simply Norman's press. Let's train the Pokémon according to the main force. Faced with such a static Pokémon, Xiaozhi wisely took Pikachu back. Then put on Torkoal. Everyone knows this Torkoal, and the results in the last game are still fresh in our minds. I used Flamethrower to fight against Darkrai's Dark Pulse, but was instantly killed by the opponent using Flamethrower. To be honest, they are not optimistic about this Torkoal. When it came to the Lily of the Valley Conference in Sinnoh region, it was only at that level. It's not long since we conquered here, what kind of strength can we show? The result, once again exceeded their expectations. Both sides are slow Pokémon. If you don't move, I won't move. If you make a move, I will take it. The lazy man used Blizzard on Torkoal. However, Torkoal's Flamethrower move directly pushed Blizzard back. Killed the lazy man instantly. Is he acting in Lily of the Valley Conference? Do not rule out that possibility. At the conference, I was submissive, but in the gym battle, I punched hard. You Flamethrower looks better than Lily of the Valley Conference. What happened during the conference? Did you have a stomachache? After Sloth was killed instantly, Norman switched to the next Pokémon. Vigoroth. Facing Vigoroth, Xiaozhi had no intention of exchanging Pokémon, and ended up suffering a big loss. From the static of the mechanism to the ultimate movement. The change of mode made Xiaozhi unable to react. He made a hasty move and was immediately dodged by the opponent. Then he used a slash move to kill Torkoal instantly. Quote. Okay, you Lily of the Valley Conference is indeed not acting, I believe it. 727 inches. Is this really a turtle? Why was it instantly killed by physical attacks? About the fact that I am a turtle but my ability points are focused on attack. Torkoal's incredible performance left the audience in awe. They came to see Sceptile's autobiography. Why is this turtle stealing the show so much? Squirtle, who was watching, took out his bully glasses. Then he put it on his eyes. He said that as a turtle, Torkoal's performance was simply incompetent. He wants speed but not speed, wants defense but not defense. Compared to this turtle like him, he is the complete opposite. After Torkoal lost the ability to fight, Xiaozhi sent Pikachu again. Facing the flexible Vigoroth, Xiaozhi naturally has to use the flexible Pikachu. After a fierce battle with Vigoroth, both sides lost the ability to fight at the same time. Pikachu tried his best and didn't even reach the mid-turn. He took so much damage and died together. It's already full of firepower. Yes, that Vigoroth is actually very strong. Is Mr. Norman really letting off steam? With everyone speculating, Norman released the last Pokémon. Slacking. Open black lens bracket Wallace. Norman, you. Close black lens bracket. Drake. First, use Slacking Ong and Vigoroth's dynamic tactics, and then use the extremely powerful Slacking. Norman, are you treating Xiaozhi as an elite trainer? 1. Norman. It seems that I should attach great importance to Xiaozhi. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to use the strength I have now. Professor Kukui. Slacking. Such a huge Pokémon. It also looks quite powerful. Steven. Norman's Slacking is one of his main players. It's also his favorite Pokémon. You can tell by looking at the fact that he has a Slacking account in his hand. One household account refers to Lazy Man, Vigoroth, Slacking, Progress and Degeneration. Yu Longdu. In other words, Norman's Slacking is an elite-level Pokémon. It's too much. How long has it been since Xiaozhi conquered Trico? It evolved into a forest some time ago. Lizard. How do you fight Slacking? Close black lens bracket. Diantha. You mean, Grovyle is destined to lose. Yulongdu. Otherwise. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Where is the betting market? Where is the betting market? I want to win against Xiaozhi. Open black lens bracket Yulongdu. Close black lens bracket. Are you going to scold me again? What? No scolding. You are scolding me for being a poisonous person. The dialogue on the barrage made people all over the world laugh out loud. The champion who used to be aloof and powerful seems to have an approachable side. This barrage list really allowed many people to see a different side of the champions. In the gag, the final battle between Xiaozhi and Norman begins. Facing Norman's Slacking, Xiaozhi naturally used Grovyle. After all, this is the autobiography of Sceptile and Xiaozhi. If it were an insignificant game, there wouldn't be so many. Regardless of strength, in terms of species strength, Slacking is also extremely powerful, even a Pokémon at the civilian God of War level. If it weren't for the encumbrance of Normal's abilities such as laziness, its popularity would definitely be no less than that of quasi-god. Chapter 90. The bond begins to show. Break through the elite, Mega Wooden Man. Advertisement. Laziness is an extremely disgusting ability. After releasing a skill, you need to wait for a while before releasing the next skill. And so far, no one has been able to overcome the effect of this ability through training. Slacking is the biggest victim of this ability. It has extremely powerful attacks, HP and great speed. However, due to the ability of laziness, Slacking's output was directly reduced by half. Although this skill can be exchanged for this skill or the ability of chemically changing gas. Temporarily eliminate its side effects. But this is only limited to doubles matches. Solo. Unless you cheat and give him an ability in advance. Norman is certainly not the person to do this kind of thing. Therefore, Slacking's lazy ability will be the key to whether Xiaozhi can win this game. Under the spotlight, the last game finally begins. Grovyle took the lead in attacking. However, its attacks are basically blocked by the opponent's huge palm of the cattail leaf fan. Whether it's bullet seed or slapping, it's hard to achieve results. In addition to Slacking's high defense. Also, the level of this Slacking is going to crush Grovyle. The gap between the two sides is too huge. Oh, what a pity. Brother Xiaozhi, let's go practice again. If it doesn't work, shake Charizard back. Maybe we can still fight. The evolved Sceptile should be able to shoot 50 to 50, but Grovyle is too difficult. If Pikachu can show his strength against the Ice God Pillar, forget it, Pikachu has lost the ability to fight. Audiences around the world are not very optimistic about this game. Without betting, most people still hope that Xiaozhi can win. It's just that this hope is somewhat slim, or does not exist at all. The two sides fought again for several rounds, and Slacking finally showed his true strength. Lazy ability is not just an ability, it is also the character of slacking itself. When facing weak enemies, he won't even raise his eyelids. Grovile's endless attacks, coupled with flexible jumping harassment, successfully activated his temper. Today's slacking is slacking with full power. With one move, Earthquake directly forced Grovile into the air. Grovile, who had suffered a loss, did not dare to fight slacking in close combat again. Bullet Seed attacks can only be released from a distance. This is his only long-range skill now. Most of the rest are melee skills. However, Bullet Seed didn't hurt or itch at all when it hit slacking. Instead, the opponent responded with a devastating blow. Grovile hurriedly used Bullet Seed to resist. However, the power of both sides is not of the same level at all. The Destruction Death Light directly suppressed the Bullet Seed and hit Grovile. 673. Fortunately, with the buffer of Bullet Seed, Grovile did not lose his fighting ability. Even so, he is already scarred. Norman saw that Grovile was seriously injured, so he persuaded Xiaozhi to just come back and fight next time. But Grovile has no intention of giving up. After receiving Xiaozhi's support and trust, a dark green light burst out from his body. Ability. Flourishing is on. If you turn on Lushness, it means that Grovile's physical strength has bottomed out. Norman was also shocked by the persistence and bond between Xiaozhi and Grovile. Then he started competing with Xiaozhi again with a serious expression. After turning on the exuberance, Grovile is completely different from before. Be it speed, power, or reaction, they have all been greatly improved. The audience watching was confused. Do you call this prosperous? It's called prosperous, but it's actually a lie, right? It turns out that Grovile has already shown signs of cheating right from the beginning. Grovile, who has been greatly improved, continues to use his flexible body to attack from all directions. Even if the slacking level is extremely high and the defense is strong. There is no way to withstand Grovile's consumption after becoming prosperous. His attacks have no way of hitting Grovile effectively. On the other hand, Grovile's attacks hit him effectively every time. Not long after, Slacking's physical strength also bottomed out. In the end, both sides used Focus Punch and Leaf Blade to decide the winner. Although the flexible Grovile did not completely avoid Focus Punch, but it reduces the area hit by Focus Punch as much as possible. And the Leaf Blade he used was aimed at the opponent's vital points. The attacks from both sides passed each other. Grovile looked in pain, his body was shaking, and he could barely hold on. After Slacking raised a smile on his lips, he fell heavily to the ground. Wow, Xiaozhi and Grovile once again made the impossible possible. Facing elite level Slacking. Advertisement. Even without causing any harm to the opponent, he was beaten to a pulp. Under such circumstances, a shocking mega comeback was still achieved. The level gap between the two sides is not even a tiny bit. This is almost as good as when Greninja challenged Diantha, right? That's awesome. Grovile's contest condition can defeat Slacking. No wonder the future evolution into Sceptile is so powerful. Haha, Sceptile is a level 1 Pokémon comparable to Charizard. It's just showing its strength now. It will definitely be even more awesome after it evolves in the future. I discovered a problem. Mr. Lance seems to have had a baby again. Do. Ahem, you didn't hear it. You didn't even hear it. Is this the initial rise of King Bee? Why is it called King Bee? Look at Grovile holding a branch in his mouth all day long. Don't you think he's pretending? Quote. It seems to be a bit. King Bee is a good name. 11. Xiaozhi's battle to turn the impossible into the possible has once again aroused heated discussion around the world. Grovile is so powerful now. When it evolves into Sceptile in the future, it will definitely be more powerful. Cynthia. I didn't expect that Sceptile defeated an elite level Pokemon when he was still Grovile. Yulongdu. This is cheating. Naked cheating. Whose Maosheng looks like this? Diantha. Admit it, it's your problem, Lance. Close black lens bracket. Norman. This Grovile is indeed a bit weird, but this should be the first time Xiaozhi and Grovile show their talents. The bond between Xiaozhi and Grovile has generated a powerful force, and it flourishes when superimposed. That's what makes Grovile so powerful. Close black lens bracket. Alder. Bond, is it such a magical thing? I think I have a good relationship with Volcarona. Why haven't I seen him explode like this during the battle? Alder wondered if Volcarona had another dog outside. Why does he never trigger any bonding power when he fights? Xiaozhi's special skills. Cheer up, dodge quickly, come on, persist, don't give in. As long as these cheats work in key sentences, he won't win the championship in Alola. Dad. Lost. Dad who tried his best. Lost to Grovile who had only been training for a few months. How could this happen? Even though Norman had been vaccinated, Xiao Sheng still couldn't believe it. The invincible father actually lost to Grovile, who didn't even have the final evolution. That's because Xiaozhi and Grovile have a strong bond. Mei couldn't help but defend Xiaozhi. Now she also thinks about it, whether her father wins or Xiaozhi wins. We all wish them all the best. After all, this is not a life and death battle, just an ordinary gym battle. Mei is not as longing for her father as Xiaosheng is. Don't Dad and Slacking have no bond? Slacking is Dad's main Pokémon. Mei was speechless by Xiaosheng's words. After all, she didn't go on a trip either. How would she answer this question? Slacking and I are different from Xiaoji and Grovyle. Xiaoji treats Pokémon as his own life, no, even more. Although I don't want to admit it, my love for Pokémon is far less than Xiaoji's. So, not everyone can use that kind of bonding power. After so many inventories, he had already seen that. Xiaoji's love and attitude towards Pokémon are probably the best in the world. Therefore, he can have the power to create miracles repeatedly. Xiaosheng also calmed down after hearing this. He is still young and needs more time to absorb the buffer. After defeating the powerful enemy Norman from Petalburg Gym, Xiaoji and his party continued to move forward. I also met many rivals later, but the scenes all flashed by. Did not go into details. But it can be seen from the picture that Grovyle also faced many strong enemies in the follow-up. There are victories and there are defeats. But the most outrageous thing is that. Why do most of the rivals Grovyle faces have reverse attributes? Unfair. This is completely lowering Brother Hoen's winning rate. Don't be embarrassed, I haven't reached the level of the first brother yet, and my current strength is still far behind Charizard. You haven't evolved into Sceptile yet, what? It's hard to imagine that someone would get into a fight over something like this. In the subsequent scene, Xiaoji received 8 badges and participated in the Evergrande Conference. But because I insisted on using Pokémon from the Hoenn region to participate in the competition. In the end, it was a pity that we could only get to the quarterfinals. Grovyle tried his best, but I just asked why Brother Xiaoji is either the top 8 or the top 8 every day, and why doesn't he compete with the previous Pokémon? Why? Last Charizard, this kind of battle is not won casually. Teacher, the great teacher, has not yet reached his peak. There is not even a single Pokémon who can carry the banner. Alas, Grovyle hasn't evolved to Sceptile yet, otherwise Brother Xiaoji would never have stopped in the top 8. Lily of the Valley Conference clearly uses Fangyuan to tame Pokémon, why doesn't Evergrande Conference use? Everyone finally knows why Xiaoji's alliance results are so bad. It's an official competition, and even the Pokémon captured locally are used. How long have you been cultivating? Not even half a year. You want to win the championship with this kind of Pokémon. I'm afraid you don't want to go to heaven. It is not unreasonable for Xiaoji to wait until Alola to win the championship. After the defeat of Evergrande Conference, Xiaoji and his team came back Kanto. Advertisement. After Yoshida's recommendation, Xiaoji decided to go to Battle Frontier to compete. At this point, it's a story that everyone is familiar with. The first stop is the Battle Factory. But since there is no Grovyle role here, so I just skipped it. In the subsequent journey, Grovyle lost and won. This also made everyone start to feel. It seems that Grovyle is not that strong. In the past, I was able to defeat the elite level Slacking simply because of the abundance and explosion of seeds. Under normal strength, Grovyle can't even enter Xiaoji's first echelon. Maybe evolving into Sceptile will change things. Everyone thought so. Then, the important turning point came. Xiaoji and his party are preparing to go to Rangi Island, where the next contest will be held. In order to change the ship's route, they need to change ships at a place called Chamomile Island. As a result, because I saw the wind and sunshine in this place in the lush grassland, Xiaoji and others thought it would not be too late to let the Pokémon play here for a while before leaving. During this period, Xiaoji's Dunjia caused a series of ridiculous things. Nurse Joy, who is in charge of management here, came forward to calm the storm. Just then, Xiaoji discovered that his Grovyle was missing. As everyone searched, they soon discovered that Grovyle was actually confronting a Tropius. Nurse Joy tells everyone that that area belongs to Tropius. Any Pokémon that breaks in there will be considered his enemy. So Xiaoji and others hurried over to stop Grovyle from fighting Tropius. Before the result had time to pass, Grovyle had already been defeated by Tropius' strong offensive. Bruno. Ah, Fangyuan failed like this despite being the master. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. 4 times the resistance to grass, you can do it, you can do it. Close black lens bracket. Bruno. Excuse me. Close black lens bracket. As Cynthia said, Tropius, which is 4 times more resistant to grass, can't beat Grovyle with its feet. No one was disappointed with Grovyle's failure. After all, Grovyle doesn't have Xiaoji's command. Secondly, Grovyle was resisted 4 times by the opponent. This is already considered the reverse attribute of reverse attributes. Who would win in my place? What? In the last 2 rounds of inventory, someone with 4 times fire resistance was beaten down. Ahem, don't be embarrassed, Beilong is under control, otherwise Charizard would be the one being held down and beaten. After Grovyle was defeated, Tropius still wanted to continue his attack. Fortunately, Nurse Joy's Meganium came forward and stopped Tropius. I don't know why Tropius wouldn't take action when my Meganium broke in. Nurse Joy said as she helped Xiaoji lift Grovyle up. Soon, Grovyle was taken to the Pokémon Center. The screen switches to Tropius's side. After seeing Tropius' strong strength, the Rockets trio had an evil idea. Meowth used to persuade Tropius to join the Rockets. As a result, the simple-minded Tropius blushed and said something unknown. Translated by Meowth is, as long as Meganium joins Team Rocket, then he will join. This Meganium, I'm naturally talking about the Nurse Joy just now. Everyone suddenly realized it. No wonder Tropius won't take action against Meganium. It turns out, he actually likes Meganium. At this moment, the screen cut to Grovile's side. A seriously injured Grovile lies in the Pokémon Center. I checked just now and found that Grovile's injury was actually not serious. My Meganium can use its healing power to recover quickly. After Nurse Joy finished speaking, Meganium stepped forward, and a strange and brilliant light shone down from her petals. Grovile's injuries are slowly improving with a visible trend. I searched. Meganium knows synthesis and aromatherapy. One is for self-recovery and the other is for removing status condition. I didn't see the skill to help others treat it. After a while, Grovile's body returned to normal. When he opened his eyes, what appeared in front of him was Meganium's sweet smile. For a moment, Grovile felt like he had been stabbed in the heart. The flower he held in his mouth also bloomed immediately. Noticing Grovile's reaction, Xiaozhi said doubtfully. Grovile, why are your branches blooming? Huh, your body is so hot. What's going on? Xiaozhi, didn't you see? Facing Xiaoging's question, Xiaozhi shook his head. Xiaoging, Mei, and Xiaosheng covered their faces at the same time. Grovile looks like now. It's obvious that he is in love. And her love interest is Nurse Joy's Meganium. Even 7-year-old Xiaosheng understood Grovile's situation, but Xiaozhi looked completely unaware. Should I say, is it worthy of being Xiaozhi? All the emotional intelligence is used on Pokémon, and it is not sensitive at all to men and women. Audiences around the world couldn't help but smile when they saw Xiaozhi's expression. How should I describe Xiaozhi? Mega Wooden Man. Chapter 91. Falling in love will only affect the speed of drawing the sword. Advertisement. Yu Longdu. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect that cold brother Grovile could still fall in love. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Falling in love makes people's brains tremble. Today's Grovile can no longer maintain his cold appearance. Catalya. This is the great power of love, even cool guys can turn into silly goose. Sydney. I understand. Grovile must be so strong in the future because of love. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Wallace. Oh. Becoming stronger for the one you love is really inspiring and elegant. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. It's Xiaozhi, PFF'd. I didn't expect Xiaozhi to be a real fruit. Didn't you see that? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Gary. Xiaozhi can tell that there is something wrong. That guy has been lacking in this area since he was a child. Close black lens bracket. Xiaozhi. Stinky Mao, who do you think is lacking? Isn't it just love? Of course I understand. Close black lens bracket. Gary. Oh, how many girlfriends have you had now? Close black lens bracket. Opening square bracket comma closing square bracket. A decisive blow, Xiaozhi could not get up again. Compared to Gary, who has a lot of wives and concubines, Xiaozhi really has nothing. However, after seeing Gary's words, Misty's eyes flashed with a sharp edge. Today's Xiaozhi is indeed a good wooden person. But no matter how stupid he is still as fishy as Gary. Xiaozhi and Gary must not be allowed to get too close. If you learn something extraordinary like, wives and concubines gather in groups. The trouble is big. Cynthia rubbed her chin and asked with some confusion. How many girlfriends do you young people have now? No, I've only seen Stinky Mao have many girlfriends. Cynthia flashed her light and said thoughtfully. Then it's impossible for you to learn from Gary. I won't learn from him. When he is in love, I will train hard. I will beat him hard in battle. Falling in love will only affect the speed of throwing Pokeballs. Cynthia, Misty, Xiaoging. 6. As expected of you, Xiaozhi. Only you can think of this novel angle. Sister Shaw smiled helplessly. This piece of wood, I guess he will have to wait until he becomes a Pokemon master to understand it. In the image, in the wake-up call of Mei et al. Xiaozhi also had a vague understanding of why Grovile behaved like this. On the one hand, he seems to have a great liking for Meganium. On the other hand, being beaten so embarrassingly in front of a Pokemon that I had a crush on. It also made him feel ashamed. In this regard, Xiaozhi felt that he could not help much in this regard. As for fighting, it's okay, but emotionally. So everyone simply let Grovile rest for a while. Everyone left the lounge and came to the lobby of the Pokémon Center. Grovile in the lounge stood up immediately after seeing everyone leaving. His eyes are burning with fighting spirit. Alas, Grovile isn't going to find Tropius retaliate, is he? It's possible. He was beaten so badly in front of the one he loves. Grovile must want to find his way back. But, it's 4 times more resistant to grass. How to fight this? With the love buff bonus. Grovile may not lose. Under the discussion of the audience, Grovile jumped from the window and was sent to the place where he was defeated just now. At the same time, the Rockets trio also built a machine. Directly broke the Pokémon Center and captured Meganium. Xiaozhi and others quickly chased after him. Yulongdu. Team Rocket. It's them again. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. I think they are here to do good things again this time, but the damage to the ground is a bit big. Close black lens bracket. Nurse Joy of Chamomile Island. Don't destroy the Pokémon Center even if you're doing good deeds, be careful that you won't be able to repay the debt of damage if you work all your life. Close black lens bracket. Meow. It's so scary. I feel a cold aura. Obviously, it's just a simple sentence. Why do I feel like there is a scary face warning us? Afraid of hammers. Are we still Team Rocket if we are afraid? Well, from now on we should focus on catching Pokémon and try to damage buildings as little as possible. As strong as Jessie, she also flinched at Nurse Joy's words that concealed a knife in her smile. For them, money is no less than their lives. Even if you put them in jail, it is better than taking their money. It doesn't cost money, it costs a life. In the image, the screen has switched to Grovile's side. Grovile has resumed his confrontation with Tropius. Tropius was furious when he saw that Grovile dared to come back to make trouble. He flew directly to Soaring in the sky and used Fierce Hurricane mercilessly on Sceptile. The howling wind kept cutting Grovile's body. Grovile could only use his hands to resist. Tropius's offensive doesn't stop at all. After Hurricane, he used Air Slash, Steel Wing, and Razor Leaf in succession. Among them, there are moves with outstanding effects, moves with normal effects. But, no matter what the move is, it was all Grovile's one-sided beating. After eating so many moves. Advertisement. Grovile has become scarred. If this continues, the result will be exactly the same as last time. Grovile eats furiously sharp blades. He glanced at the blooming flowers at the corner of his mouth, and thought of Meganium's smile. So he roared, and an emerald green light erupted from his body. Then the body turned into a white light. Instantly disappeared from Razor Leaf's attack range without a trace. Lush plus quick attack. Tropius stopped Razor Leaf and looked around, but did not find Grovile. Suddenly, on the big tree behind it, Grovile appeared instantly and then sent out a powerful bullet seed. Beat Tropius until his face showed pain. Then bend your feet slightly and exert force suddenly. Emerald green sharp blades appeared in both hands. With a flash of green light, Grovile landed lightly and removed the sharp blade in his hand without looking back. And Tropius, which is 4 times more resistant to grass. Already declining from soaring in the sky, falling to the ground, unable to stand up. This situation is just like the scene at the Lily of the Valley conference. It turns out that Grovile had already done the same pose in the Hoenn region. Yulongdu. The power of love, is it so powerful? Cynthia. I didn't expect that Grovile, who was fighting for love, would be so terrifying. Facing Tropius, who was 4 times more resistant to grass, he used 2 grass-type moves to directly defeat Tropius. Exclamation mark closing square bracket. Diantha. The exuberance of cheating normal, coupled with the blessing of the power of love, will produce such power, it seems natural. Open black lens bracket Professor Oak. Love, what a beautiful thing, close black lens bracket. Agatha. Haha, old man, are you worthy of talking about love? Take care of your grandson. He is even worse than you before. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak didn't dare to speak out. He was the one who felt sorry for Agatha first. And Agatha was right, he was already quite romantic back then. I didn't expect that his grandson would be even worse. Already had 6 girlfriends at the age of 10. Going forward, that's unthinkable. But it's not a big problem. The Oak family can afford to have as many girlfriends as they want. Audiences around the world feel that their eyes have become somewhat blind. On one side is Grovile's love affair. On the other side is the love story of the world-famous Professor Oak. Fortunately, Professor Oak didn't say anything, and Agatha didn't ask any further questions. This matter was passed over so hastily. At the same time, Grovile in the image has just defeated Tropius. Team Rocket brought Meganium over. After they dropped Meganium, Meganium rushes directly towards Grovile. When Grovile saw this, his eyes turned into hearts. He believes that he defeated Tropius and made Tianju fall in love with him, a liar. Result: Meganium directly skipped Grovile, and rushed towards Tropius behind him. Grovile was instantly petrified. Then he turned around like a machine. What appeared in front of him was the geranium stepping on Tropius with a heartbroken look on his face. It turns out that Meganium also likes Tropius, meow. They seem to be a good match. So Grovile never had any chance from the beginning. They are a well-matched team. Team Rocket's words came out from the machine. Grovile, who was already petrified, felt like he was hit hard. He knelt down weakly on the ground, holding his hands on the ground. The flowers on his mouth had withered. Its main branch also fell to the ground. It hurts. It hurts so much. Isn't this a kind of NTR? Knife in hand, kill all the Tauren in the world. What a misfortune Grovile. After finally defeating rival, the beauty ended up running into the arms of his defeated enemy. What kind of pornographic plot? Quote. The audience watching was stunned. In this picture, Grovyle looks too miserable. At this moment, Xiaozhi and others ran over. After seeing Grovyle's bruises and despair, Xiaozhi rage said to the rockets. What on earth did you do? Don't slander our little devil. It was Grovyle who went to challenge Tropius. Xiaozhi was stunned when he heard this, and then looked at Grovyle. So, Grovyle, you came to avenge Tropius, and then lost. If you lose to the same rival twice, it will be a big blow. No way. Grovyle won. He won beautifully. The rockets speak out for Grovyle's strength. Although they didn't see Grovyle defeat Tropius. But you can tell by looking at Tropius' miserable appearance. This battle can be said to be a complete victory for Grovyle. You won. Since you won, why? At this time, Xiaobing on the side saw the intimate scene between Tropius and Meganium, and instantly woke up and spoke out. Advertisement. Although I won the battle, I was severely defeated in love. Won. Lost. I don't understand, so did Grovyle lose or win? 0. Please give me flowers. Xiaoging. Mei. Xiao Sheng. Audience is watching. Be a human being, Xiaozhi. This isn't called a hint anymore. It's called an explicit statement. Don't you understand this? Yulongdu. Suggestions can be given in the future. Xiaozhi added a nickname, called Woodman, close black lens bracket. Bruno. Xiaozhi obviously has such a high emotional intelligence towards Pokémon, so why is he so bad when it comes to love? Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Even Bruno can see it. Xiaozhi, I think you need to learn some common sense about love. Cynthia. Actually, silly Xiaozhi is quite cute. Dandy. Xiaozhi is fine like this, women will only hinder his fighting speed. Close black lens bracket. Sonia. Oh, do you think so too, Dandy? Close black lens bracket. Dandy. Ahem, I think besides fighting, the relationship between men and women is also a very important part. Close black lens bracket. Sonia, a researcher at Galar, is aiming to become a Pokémon professor. Compared with this, her other name is even more impressive. That is, the childhood sweetheart of Dandy, the strongest champion of Galar. It is said that Sonia suppressed Dan Emperor before he debuted. However, no one has confirmed this rumor yet. So, did Grovyle lose or win? Xiaozhi, who was in the real world, asked the champion's soul questions. Not only does he not know it in the image, but he also doesn't understand it in reality. If you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. How come you lose and win again? Xiaoging patted Xiaozhi on the shoulder sincerely. You're still young now. When you grow up, you'll know what's going on. The corners of Misty's mouth twitched. It's best if you grow up and know what's going on. The images continue. Team Rocket ignored the stricken Grovyle. Firmly fulfilling their duties as bad guys, they captured both Meganium and Tropius. Speaking of which, Team Rocket's robot arm is really strong. 2 behemoths can actually hold one in each hand. Meganium was captured by the robot and was struggling in pain in the robot's hands. Grovyle looked up at Meganium's painful expression, feeling a little unbearable. Then he stood up firmly. He decided that even if they couldn't be together, they couldn't watch Geranium being taken away. A firm mind turns into new strength. Grovyle's body emits a dazzling white light. He is going to evolve. Ah, is this how Sceptile evolved? Turning grief and anger into strength. About the fact that I not only ed your lover but also needed you to save both of us. I told you not to be embarrassed. Meganium didn't like Grovyle at first. The two of them are a couple, strictly speaking, Grovyle is the third party. That's the truth, but don't you think? Grovyle looks like being bullied. Quote. In the midst of everyone's discussion, Grovyle's evolution is complete. The handsome Sceptile appears in front of everyone. Seeing Grovyle evolve, Xiaozhi also seemed very excited. So he directly commanded Sceptile to launch an attack. Prepare to rescue Meganium and the others. Team Rocket also released the battle Pokémon, and just when everyone thought. When the evolved Sceptile can defeat Desert Naia like a chopping of melons and vegetables. An accident happened. Sceptile can't use skills. No matter its Leaf Blade, Quick Attack, or Bullet Seed, there's no way to use it. In the end, Pikachu came to the rescue. And rescued Meganium and Tropius. Then Meganium and Tropius worked together to knock Team Rocket away. The story of Chamomile Island ends here. But, all the viewers watching were quite upset. I originally thought that after evolution, Sceptile would kill everyone and double its combat power. It even truly showed Hoenn's ability to take charge. But, what the hell is this move not being able to use? Yu Longdu. I think the Lizard Lord must have suffered too much after falling out of love. His confidence was thwarted and he couldn't even use his skills. Bruno. I didn't expect that we couldn't guess the ending of the story. Catalya. I originally thought that Sceptile would become more powerful in the future because of his relationship. Close black lens bracket. Catalya. As it turned out, Meganium was already in a relationship. I thought Sceptile would turn her grief and anger into strength, and soar into the sky. But, now she doesn't even have skills. The one who was hit can't use it anymore. Norman. In that case, why was the Sceptile in the future able to exert that kind of power? There must have been other things that happened later. Cynthia. It should be related to Xiaozhi. It can be seen from the battle with Darkrai that Xiaozhi's existence is like light to Sceptile normal. Cynthia. During the subsequent journey, Xiaozhi must have done something for Sceptile's recovery move. That's why the bond between them has reached such an indestructible level. Exclamation mark. Not even a black hole can trap Sceptile. Yes. Chapter 92. Mega Rookie rides alone to fight the swarm. Xiaozhi, you still said you are not a Pokémon. Advertisement. During the battle with Darkrai, the bond between Sceptile and Xiaozhi is never as shallow as it is now. Those who regard trainer as a bond of light must have experienced something later. Cynthia believes so firmly. The images continue. Xiaozhi's journey to Chamomile Island has left Veilstone behind. Next they will go to the last contest competition. After the contest, Xiaozhi will challenge the 5th battle facility. Battle Palace. After landing on the island where the Battle Palace is located, Metal Island. Xiaozhi is going to let the Pokémon in his hand warm up and train first. It's just that, all Pokémon can use the moves smoothly, but Sceptile still can't use them. In fact, several days had passed since the day he fell out of love. But, the mark of failure seems to be firmly engraved in Sceptile's heart. Until I forget about that brand and Meganium, I'm afraid Sceptile won't even be able to use his moves. Yulongdu. Such a big blow. Falling in love is harmful to people. Steven. The most important thing is that despite being stronger than the other party, he still lost in love. That's why Sceptile's blow was so severe. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Oh, Steven, you know it very well, right? Cynthia. Steven is the noble son of the Hoenn region and the son of the Devon group. Do you think he is as innocent as he appears? Close black lens bracket. X. Do you believe that I am suing you for defamation? Everyone is just next door, so if you have something to do, you can't speak directly. You have to send barrages to hurt me, right? Cynthia, you have changed. You are no longer the cold goddess. You become as devilish as Diantha. The image continues. After Sceptile worked hard for most of the day, he still couldn't use the skill. It was already evening, and Sceptile was panting from exhaustion. His face was full of confusion and anger. Why can't I use any moves? Why? I'm so powerless. Damn it. Sceptile's heart exploded and he rushed into the forest. Xiaozhi immediately followed after seeing this. Mei and others originally wanted to leave, but Xiaogang stopped them. Let Xiaozhi go, it is the trainer's responsibility to appease Pokémon. Sceptile is probably angry at himself for being so weak and unable to use his skills. I believe Xiaozhi can bring Sceptile back. Xiaogang, who has traveled to 3 regions with Xiaozhi, knows very well what kind of person Xiaozhi is. If it were him, he would definitely be able to bring the confused Sceptile back to the right path. Sceptile ran all the way deep into the forest. He was madly using his head to tackle the trees. Seems to be punishing myself, hating my own powerlessness. At this time, a soft voice came from behind. Stop it, Sceptile. Sceptile stopped tackle, but didn't look back. He dare not face his trainer. Now that I don't even have basic combat abilities. What value can it create for trainer? Sceptile's voice appeared on the screen very clearly. For a time, audiences around the world felt sorry for Sceptile. That aloof Sceptile who risked his own life to protect his friends, has he fallen to this level now? He is actually afraid that Xiaozhi will abandon him. When a person with great power loses his power, maybe he will have the same mentality. When you lose that power, you will know the value of power. It's okay, Sceptile, even if we can't do anything today, isn't there still tomorrow? Let's go back, Sceptile, everyone is worried about you. Quote. Sceptile closed his eyes tightly, seeming to be engaged in a fierce psychological struggle. Suddenly, Sceptile and Pikachu looked sideways at the same time. Xiaozhi seemed to notice something and looked aside. As a result, a huge number of Beedrill tribe appeared in front of them. Then, the Beedrills attacked Xiaozhi indiscriminately. Upon seeing this, Xiaozhi directly asked Pikachu to use Thunderbolt to stun them all. But after fainting, another batch came. In this forest, Beedrill groups seemed to be endless. Normal. Going to leave Sceptile. Just. Several people started to escape at the same time. After a period of chasing, the Beedrill group still had no intention of letting go of Xiaozhi and the others. And Xiaozhi, Sceptile and Pikachu have come to the edge of a cliff. Underneath, is a fast-flowing river. They have no retreat. The Beedrill swarm strikes again. Sceptile steps forward. Even if he can't use his skills, he still has to use his body to protect his trainer. Xiaozhi was shocked for a while and quickly took out the Pokeball. Advertisement. How could he watch Sceptile get hurt in front of him and ignore it? However, before Xiaozhi can take back Sceptile, the rock under his feet suddenly broke. Sceptile and Xiaozhi Pikachu fell down at the same time. And Sceptile's Pokeball fell on the cliff. Xiaozhi. Seeing Xiaozhi fall off the cliff, Misty couldn't help shouting. Then I suddenly remembered. This seemed to be Xiaozhi in the image. What are you doing, Misty? I'm still fine. Don't worry. Sceptile and I will be fine for sure. Otherwise, there wouldn't be us in the Lily of the Valley conference. Xiaozhi Solician comforted Misty. Knowing the future, he didn't panic at all. At the same time, people all over the world who have had contact with Xiaozhi couldn't help but feel psychologically disturbed after seeing this scene. Lena, Dawn, May, Alice, Lily, Gary. Ahem, there are too many cuts in the camera here to make you dizzy, so I'll just ignore it. Don't say I'm being lenient. By the way, is there something strange mixed in above? In the image, after Xiaozhi fell into the water, he showed off his powerful Mega True Rookie physique. He grabbed a rock on the rapid water with one hand. The other hand held Sceptile. But Pikachu has been washed away by the water without a trace. Xiaozhi could only rescue Sceptile back to the shore first. After Beedrill's attack and successive encounters, Sceptile's body is already overwhelmed. Although Xiaozhi is very worried about Pikachu, Sceptile is also his important partner. In addition, it is already evening, so I can only find a place to repair it first. Night time. Xiaozhi found some fruits outside to fill Sceptile's stomach. Let's take a nap after eating. Sceptile, Pikachu will be fine. We'll go find Pikachu when you're rested. Just. Sceptile nodded obediently, then lay down on his side to sleep. Xiaozhi, on the other hand, looked at the boundless soaring in the sky with worried eyes. I prayed for Pikachu in my heart. Everything must be safe. Pikachu. I'm in tears, brother Xiaozhi still loves his Pikachu so much. It's not just Pikachu. Sceptile is the same. Yes. If Xiaozhi only cared about Pikachu, why would he care about Sceptile's injury? He would have just ignored it and gone on to find Pikachu. Oh, Sceptile, why are you in love with B? Isn't it nice to have such a good trainer? Do you think there is a possibility? Sceptile's powerful combat power in the future will indeed appear for love. But this love is not Meganium, but Xiaozhi. Blind monk, you discovered Hua Dian. It's a prophet, hurry up and get the knife. In the video, switch to May's side. They were worried about Xiaozhi, so they went out to search, but they only saw the Pokeball left by Xiaozhi. Also, Pikachu fainted after coming out of the river. Saved by Mr. Spencer, the palace guardian of the Battle Palace. And will meet with May and others. Pikachu's side is fine now. So what about Xiaozhi? Now Xiaozhi has fallen into sleep. Sceptile, on the other hand, opened his eyes. He couldn't sleep. However, next, Xiaozhi said a sleep talk in his dreamland. But Sceptile's restless heart instantly calmed down. Don't worry, if you can't do it today, there's still tomorrow, it's okay. Even in his sleep, Xiaozhi is still worried about Sceptile's psychological problems. This made Sceptile's heart hurt by love instantly filled with another kind of emotion. That feeling is called bonding. The bond with trainer. With his impetuous mood calmed down, Sceptile finally fell asleep with a smile on his lips. Cynthia. This is Xiaozhi. Xiaozhi who always thinks about Pokémon and always loves and protects them. You Longdu. I, Longdu, recognize this bond. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. What a pity, if this emotional intelligence is used to seduce girls, what girl can't be seduced? Close black lens bracket. Norman. Is there a possibility that even if Xiaozhi doesn't have this kind of emotional intelligence, he still has a lot of girls? Close black lens bracket. Norman could feel that something was wrong with his baby daughter in the picture. Something's wrong with Xiaozhi, not only his baby daughter, but also the blue-haired Stephanie who was watching the battle against Darkrai in the audience. That flaxen short-haired Stephanie. This guy, even if he focuses all his attention on Pokémon, he can still attract a lot of girls. No. It should be just because I put my mind on Pokémon. There will be many girls who fall in love with the boy. Fortunately, this guy is as good as wood, otherwise, he will definitely not be a fuel-efficient lamp in the future. Early the next morning, Xiaozhi helped Sceptile on the road to find Pikachu. Despite the rest, Sceptile's injuries didn't get much better either. Xiaozhi could only help him. On the way, Xiaozhi bumped into a stone and fell, causing obvious scars on his left leg. Despite this, Xiaozhi still told Sceptile not to worry too much. Advertisement. In terms of injuries, Sceptile's injuries were much more severe than his. Stop at Bide Sceptile, we will find Pikachu soon. Then we will let you go to the Pokemon Center to have a good rest. Just stop at Bide and you'll be fine. While supporting him, Xiaozhi comforted Sceptile. At this time, Sceptile's eyes looked increasingly different when he looked at Xiaozhi. That's a look that treats it as light. Cynthia. I see. Is it because of this that Xiaozhi and Sceptile have such a strong bond? Question mark closing square bracket. Yulongdu. No matter what the circumstances, I never gave up on Sceptile. It is precisely because of this that the future Sceptile responded to Xiaozhi. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. The relationship between Xiaozhi and his Pokémon is really enviable. How many people in the whole world can do the same thing as Xiaozhi? Close black lens bracket. Professor Kukui. Yes, Xiaozhi's character is really lovable. No wonder even the future island god takes good care of him, and even the Z-ring was directly given to Xiaozhi. Exclamation mark closing square bracket. Xiaozhi's character of never giving up on Pokémon, and his gentle attitude towards Pokémon no matter what the circumstances. Let everyone in the world admire you. Put yourself in their shoes. If they were in Xiaozhi's situation, could they really never leave Sceptile? I'm afraid it's difficult. Not everyone can compare a Pokémon's life to their own. If there were still many people who felt aggrieved by Xiaozhi's possession of powerful Pokémon at the beginning. Well, now those people no longer have such complaints. To give their lives for Pokémon, in a simple word, they can't do it. So Xiaozhi deserves to have so many powerful Pokémon, he deserves it. Of course, there are still many crazy people in the world. This kind of people, it doesn't really matter whether they agree or not. Anyway, they are stunned until the end. It is they themselves who will be destroyed after all. For example, a black man with a ball. Image continues. Xiaozhi and Sceptile were walking together, and they accidentally stumbled into Beedrill's lair. After being discovered by Beedrill, Xiaozhi supported Sceptile and sped away. There is light shining just ahead. That is the exit of the forest. However, just when they thought they could find a place to escape as long as they went out. The so-called exit 220 turned out to be a dead end. At the end of the exit, there is a cliff. There is no way to leave. Is that the end of it? As Xiaozhi murmured, Beedrill caught up again. Then, a scene that shocked audiences around the world appeared. Xiaozhi glanced at Sceptile, then slowly put it down. Then he picked up the wooden stick at his feet. At this time, Sceptile cannot use skills, so, he can only use trainer. Come on, let me be your rival. Bruno. No way, Xiaozhi doesn't really want to perform that, does he? Close black lens bracket. Lian Wu. This is a group of Beedrills. Even fighting Pokémon can't deal with so many Beedrills. Kato. Real or fake? Amid everyone's words, Xiaozhi waved the wooden stick in his hand. A provocation swept across and directly knocked away a Beedrill. Then start using the tortoise stick method. The airtight stick shadow firmly protects Sceptile. Dozens of Beedrills can't get close to Sceptile. Anyone who gets close will receive a full blow from Mega Real Rookie. As for what will happen after being hit, just look at Beedrill lying helpless on the ground and you'll know what's going on. It's true, brother Xiaozhi. Is this a humanoid Pokémon? It must be a humanoid Pokémon. That's right, brother Xiaozhi must be a humanoid Pokémon. What he is using now must be Pokémon skills. Quote. Beggars, stick method, idiot, it's brutal swing. Many people noticed that Xiaozhi was waving wildly. It's very similar to the skill called brutal swing. If the stick didn't show energy luster, they all think this is a skill. No. This is already outrageous compared to Pokemon's skills. Who is Xiaozhi? Open black lens bracket Bruno. It's so scary. I'm ashamed of myself. Close black lens bracket. Lian Wu. I carried a bucket all night to come to be my disciple. Kato. I should practice for a while and then go and discuss with Xiaozhi. 3 world-famous fighting experts, as well as boxing champions, expressed that they were ashamed of Xiaozhi's performance. This is no longer something humans can do. Even Kato, who never looks back, doesn't want to trouble Xiaozhi anymore. This is not a discussion. This is seeking death. Look at the strength of this stick. 1 stick for a Beedrill. Playing with snake skin. Cynthia. Has Xiaozhi become a saint in body? He has such powerful power. Close black lens bracket. Steven. This stick, I feel that if it hits Metagross, it should cause extraordinary damage. Closing square bracket. As we all know, fighting beats steel. Steven quietly moved his body. If Xiaozhi accidentally punched him when he saw some exciting scene, I'm afraid he won't have to participate in the 8th Masters competition. He can just watch the competition in the hospital. Outside the Indigo Plateau Conference venue, Gary wiped the non-existent sweat from his head.
I feel like it's better to provoke Xiaozhi less in the future, otherwise there won't be enough to fight even one of him. Chapter 93. Mega Rookie used the flying technique. Groudon looked envious. Advertisement. Xiaozhi showed a shocking scene in the video. Comparing Pokemon with a human body, however, despite this, there are too many Beedrills. Even if Xiaozhi has made the defense airtight, there are still several powerful Twineedles piercing and hard. The wooden stick in Xiaozhi's hand hit the sharp Twineedle. A face-to-face meeting was directly broken. Then, this terrifying Twineedle hit Xiaozhi hard. Knocked it away. There were 2 holes in Xiaozhi's clothes, but fortunately there was no serious injury underneath the clothes. While this made all the audience breathe a sigh of relief. Also feeling emotional. It is truly a Mega Rookie. It is both offensive and defensive. The Mega Twineedle can pierce sticks and pierce clothes in one go. There is no way to cause too much damage to Xiaozhi's body. This kind of defense is probably the same even for a normal steel-type Pokémon. As expected of the wind and rain at the beginning. Jump off a cliff into a rushing river. In addition, after falling down while riding a bicycle for thousands of meters, he was almost fine. Mega is a rookie. Although Xiaozhi was fine,
he was knocked away and the defensive circle was directly broken. Dozens of Beedrills swarmed in. When Sceptile saw this, he jumped directly in front of Xiaozhi. Just like yesterday, he will use his body to protect Xiaozhi from harm. In the worried eyes of everyone, Beedrill sprinted towards us. At the critical moment, a golden spark flew towards me like the wind chasing the sun. The terrifying electric light restrained all the Beedrills. Pikachu. An inspiring voice came from a distance. Xiaozhi looked into the distance, and Pikachu was galloping towards him. Along with Pikachu comes a sweet flavor. This is Venusaur's aromatherapy, which has a calming effect. A slightly older voice came. Behind Pikachu, a huge force of San Chi arrived. An old man with a white beard, Venusaur, and his friends. Xiaozhi's most dangerous moment, his partners finally arrived. This also gave all the audience a sigh of relief. The situation just now was really a crisis. After the Beedrill group was soothed by the fragrance of flowers, they completely lived up to their violent appearance just now. He obediently returned to the forest. Xiaozhi and Sceptile's jungle road should have ended here. However, the Rockets trio appears again. He directly used 2 robotic arms to capture both Pikachu and Sceptile. It's the Rockets trio again. How come they can follow brother Xiaozhi wherever he goes? Isn't this a skill? During Xiaozhi's journey, it seems that only the Rockets trio has never changed. It is undoubtedly true love. They should be the least villain-like villains. Ha ha ha. Many people are paying attention to the Rockets trio who have been following Xiaozhi. However, the focus of elite champions is somewhat different. Yu Longdu. Do they have any of Team Rocket's latest technology? Where do those fancy machines come from? Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. It seems that this trio always comes up with some interesting machines. Close black lens bracket. Steven. I can see it. The 3 of them are all rare talents. It would be great if they were willing to work for Alliance. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. What I'm more curious about is the materials and money they used to build so many machines. Although they always say they want to capture Pokémon and give them to the boss of Team Rocket, but didn't they never succeed even once? Diantha. If they don't succeed, the Rockets shouldn't allocate funds to them, right? Money is indeed a big problem. Close black lens bracket. Jesse. Don't underestimate our ability to make money, you bastards. Team Arrow headquarters. Giovanni covered his eyes with his forehead, indicating that he could not see. Why do these 3 idiots always do amazing things? In fact, Giovanni is also quite curious, where do the funds for these 3 people come from? Although due to some special reasons, Giovanni allocated some funds privately. But those funds can at most provide them with food and clothing plus food for Pokémon. It's basically impossible to make a robot like that. Besides, even if they really have the funds, even Team Rocket would need a lot of manpower to make that kind of robot. Those 3 people, how did they do it? Could it be that they are really rare talents? Giovanni had doubts about his vision. On the barrage, Jessie lost her voice after saying angrily, I guess someone pulled me back again. The image continues. Sceptile and Pikachu were captured by Team Rocket with their robotic arms. But Xiaozhi still has flying Pokémon like Swellow on his hands. As long as you use Swellow, it shouldn't be difficult to get it back. However, Xiaozhi did not mean to show Swellow. Instead, after yelling at Team Rocket. Advertisement. Start running towards Team Rocket's air balloon. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. By the way, Xiaozhi put Swellow and other Pokémon where they were yesterday. He didn't bring them with him. Close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. I guess Xiaogang and the others put Xiaozhi's Pokémon in the Pokémon Center, so now, they don't seem to have any flying Pokémon to use. Bruno. But, no matter how strong Xiaozhi's physical strength is, he shouldn't be able to catch up to the Rockets trio's air balloon, right? That height is tens of meters high now. Close black lens bracket. Bruno made a visual inspection and found that the Rocket's hot air balloon has now reached at least 20 meters in the air. No matter how much Xiaozhi chases after him, he can't reach that height. However, the next scene almost made Bruno's jaw drop. I saw Xiaozhi running and looking around. Then his eyes narrowed and he ran to a tree that was broken but tilted upward. After he ran to the end of the tree, his legs were bent and his face looked painful. Xiaozhi's knees are injured now. Yet he shouted loudly. Show some perseverance. We can't let them go away like this. Then, Xiaozhi flew out normally like an arrow from a string. It really flew out. This jumping distance is a full 20 meters high. Flying is definitely not an exaggeration to describe it. Then he stretched out his hands and grabbed the robotic arm extended by Team Rocket. Open black lens bracket Yulongdu. Wowsow. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Diantha. Wowsow. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Steven. Nest grass. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. Nest, what is this? Close black lens bracket. Lien Wu. After brutal swing, can we still use flying type bounce? What a terrifying body this is. Ayado. Excuse me, I think I may have to practice for another 2 years before I can go to Kanto. Close black lens bracket. Bruno. Don't forget that Xiaozhi's knee is injured. How can he jump so far even if he is injured? It's not like he was injured. Close black lens bracket. Catalia. Don't be embarrassed, it's already in heaven now. Close black lens bracket. Even as elegant as Cynthia, she was almost cursed. Mainly, this is no longer something humans can do. No, those things before were not something humans could do. Brutal swing, bullet seed, going up mountains and down water, plus now bounce. Xiaozhi's own strength alone can probably compete with the normal gym leader Pokémon, right? If Xiaozhi's perverted power can still grow. Not to mention the gym leader, even the Pokémon of the elite trainer must be hated. Open black lens bracket Wallace. Groudon makes me cry out in envy after seeing it. Close black lens bracket. Team Lava. Don't stop me, I'm going to kill this Wallace. How dare he insult Groudon? Ahem, Master Huo Yansong, we didn't stop you. Quote quote. Who is this guy? He has no eyesight at all. Fired. Must be fired. Image 1. After Xiaozhi grabbed the robotic arm, he tried hard to cut off the robotic arm. Don't worry, Sceptile, Pikachu, I will protect you, absolutely. However, although Xiaozhi is born with supernatural powers, he has power comparable to Pokémon. But this robotic arm was carefully crafted by Team Rocket. It would be a bit of a fantasy to want to crush it with just the strength of your grip. And to make things worse, Team Rocket's Jessie released a Dustox and started attacking Xiaozhi. Dusox, use Poison Barb. At this time, Team Rocket finally looks like some bad guys. Dustox opened his mouth, and the sharp poison barb glowing with purple light flew out like raindrops. Hit Xiaozhi with all his strength. Because the poison barb is formed from energy, it will not stab Xiaozhi after attacking him. However, Xiaozhi's body has become riddled with holes because of this poison barb. But he didn't give up. Even so, despite the pain, he was still trying to find a way to save Sceptile and Pikachu. Guigi, what kind of perseverance do you have, brother Xiaozhi? What a terrifying physical defense. That's poison barb. Can it survive this? Is this the power that comes out for Pokémon? I was wrong, brother Xiaozhi, you are definitely worthy of your Pokémon. Not only do Pokémon explode for brother Xiaozhi will also explode for Pokémon. This is a two-way rush. Damn, I kind of hate Team Rocket now. The audience marveled at Xiaozhi's physical strength and at the same time marveled at Xiaozhi's explosive power for Pokémon. Now they finally know why Xiaozhi's Pokémon always responds to Xiaozhi at critical moments. There is such a trainer who always puts his life on the line for his Pokémon. Which Pokémon doesn't respond to him? In the image, Jessie couldn't help but admire Xiaozhi's perseverance. Then let Dustox give him a powerful tackle. Xiaozhi finally couldn't hold on anymore and was knocked straight out. The body fell from a height of tens of meters. At this moment, everyone subconsciously turned away their heads or closed their eyes. If you drop it from this height, even if it is a mega rookie, it will be disabled even if it is not dead, right? Just. Sceptile's pupils tightened, and the encounter with Xiaozhi appeared in his mind. Advertisement. The body bursts into bright green light. An emerald green blade emerged from his hand. Then a green light flashed past, and the mechanical arm restraining him and Pikachu was cut into several pieces. Pikachu landed on Sceptile's back smoothly. Then, Sceptile seemed to step on the void. Normal. Bend your legs, then kick out. After standing up, a white streamline appears. Like a shooting star, Normal falls quickly. Quick attack. After quickly approaching Xiaozhi, Sceptile picked up Princess Xiaozhi and landed safely using the bullet seed as a buffer. For Xiaozhi, Lizard, the king can use moves again. Moreover, with the help of Chansey, Spencer, the palace guardian, Sceptile recovered from his injuries. When facing Team Rocket's Seviper and Desert Naia. With one move, Leaf Blade slashed with two swords, killing them instantly. Then Pikachu gave them a ride. Sceptile has regained his power and seems to be even stronger than before. This may be a matter of putting oneself to death to live another life. Diantha. Is this the power of love? Close black lens bracket. Bruno. What does this have to do with love? Isn't this the power that Xiaozhi's bond with Sceptile restored to him? Close black lens bracket. Lorelei. Idiot, the love Diantha is talking about is the love between Xiaozhi and Sceptile. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Haha, Xiaozhi, if you get serious, there are no other female Pokémon. Sceptile can use moves again, probably because he's scarred. Your heart must be filled with another person. Close black lens bracket. You Longdu. Hey, hey, hey. Enough of you rotten girls. A good bond is called love by you. Catalia. Superficial. Aren't love and bond the same thing? Sceptile and Xiaozhi's love. It sounds so awkward. Day. That's too far. What should be discussed now is Sceptile's power, right? At the Lily of the Valley conference before, Sceptile was able to show such power, and Xiaozhi's solid restraint. Kazuna finally got an explanation. Cynthia. After all, I have experienced such a thing. If I had the same experience as Sceptile, I would probably regard Xiaozhi as the only light in my heart. Close black lens bracket. Misty. Danger. I always feel like someone special is going to join the group. 1,000-year-old trees in Hoenn region. Trico sat on a branch with a twig in his mouth, looking at Xiaozhi and his future self smiling happily. For a moment I couldn't help but feel a little envious. That is my future self. His future self was actually able to find a trainer who loved him so much. Trico never thought that one day he would envy his future self. From Trico to Sceptile, he saw everything. Now Xiaozhi has made 100% progress in conquering the current Trico. In his eyes, what he experienced in the picture seemed as if he had experienced it himself. Because of this, he couldn't agree more with the trainer who risked his life for him. Trico glanced at the big tree beside him. In an unknown future, this big tree is destined to end its life. But before that, he still has to protect it. But this time, his meaning here is not only to protect. It is also to wait. Waiting for the trainer to arrive. He wants to travel with Xiaozhi. For this reason, he needs to do some special training here. After all, too, he doesn't want to lose his skills in dating in the future. Women will only affect his knife speed. Only Xiaozhi is his true love. No, it's the bond. The images continue. After Sceptile regained his strength, a difficult battle followed. The target of this battle is the guardian of the palace, Mr. Spencer. For this reason, Xiaozhi went back to Professor Oak's laboratory to exchange some Pokémon. This made the audience sigh. It turns out you can exchange Pokémon. You would trade Pokémon when playing the Evergrande Conference, why not switch back to the Pokémon from the previous trip? After that, the audience clearly saw what it means to be strong and strong. The battle venue for the Battle Palace is the entire forest. Trainers need to follow Pokémon while fighting and running. Xiaozhi started as Sceptile, and Mr. Spencer started as Shiftry. Both Pokémon exploded with extraordinary speed in the forest. Here comes the most outrageous place. Mr. Spencer, who has a gray beard, can actually keep up with the speed of those two Pokémon. Not to be outdone, Xiaozhi followed suit with a Pikachu on his shoulder. It turns out that Xiaozhi is not the only non-human person in the world. At his age, Mr. Spencer can actually keep up with Sceptile. Li Liyuan is so awesome. Shiftry and Sceptile had a fierce battle in the forest. After Shiftry used a clever move to knock Sceptile under the waterfall. It directly broke the surrounding rocks and smashed them into the entire river. It made a huge noise. Just when everyone thought Sceptile was at least seriously injured. At the top of the waterfall, that green figure appears. Then he rushed down and took advantage of him and fired an X-Scissor. Bug type was restrained 4 times, plus Sceptile's abilities were doubled after resurrection. Shiftry was instantly killed by this move. Chapter 94. What kind of incredible stock has come in? Advertisement. After defeating Shiftry, Spencer next sent out Venusaur. Sceptile with the bug type skill can also deal with it. However, Xiaozhi took a fancy to Venusaur's bulky and difficult to move body. So I directly sent in the Heracross, which can cause higher damage. It's a pity that the Insect King Heracross didn't perform very well in this game. No, you can't blame Heracross, it's mainly that using frog flowers is somewhat illegal. Xiaozhi directed Heracross to use Horn Attack, Crazy Attack, Normal Tackle and 2 Mega Horns. Forget about other attacks. 2 Mega Horns, the power is as high as 102. Chongbin. None of this defeated Venusaur. It's simply outrageous to open the door for him. The map is at home. This Venusaur is really outrageous. It does twice as much damage as the insect itself, plus a power of 120. How high is this level to be able to block it? More outrageous things are yet to come. After defeating Heracross, Xiaozhi released Swellow to fight Venusaur. Swellow's flying type also restrains Venusaur. However, Mr. Spencer actually said that he wanted to take a break and eat some fruit. When people saw the appearance of the fruit, everyone who knew them couldn't help but secretly cursed, "Isn't this so shameless?" Open black lens bracket Brandon. Mr. Yukong, can you still play like this? Close black lens bracket. Dara. After the fight, eat a Nanab berry. It's really yours, Mr. Spencer. Open black lens bracket Annabelle. That's a bit much, Mr. Spencer, is this equivalent to cheating? Close black lens bracket. Bruno. Compared to Brandon's rest, Spencer is undoubtedly more shameless. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. Mr. Spencer is bullying Xiaozhi, doesn't he understand the types of tree fruits? Close black lens bracket. Yulongdu. Nanab berry. Pokémon can recover 1/3 of its physical strength in a short time after taking it. Although Xiaozhi's Swellow also ate it, but Swellow didn't even fight. Apart from being a little full after eating it, apart from feeling sick, it has no use at all. Spencer. Ahem, I probably just ate casually when I was hungry, and didn't think too much about it. Close black lens bracket. Having said that, Spencer's words are somewhat lacking in confidence. After all, this is equivalent to spraying super potion during battle. His Venusaur is already fleshy, but after eating this nanab berry, it can at least recover to close to half of its health. Even if Xiaozhi uses his O3 move, Swellow will probably have a very difficult time defeating him. Spencer also didn't understand why he wanted to restore Venusaur's health during the battle. He shouldn't be such a loser. After a shameless recovery of strength, the battle between the two continues. Because the dense jungle is not suitable for Swellow fighting. So Xiaozhi designed Swellow to fly out to the beach to fight. After a difficult battle, King Yin finally won. In fact, if there is no nanab berry, with Venusaur's physical strength, at best, one aerial ace can kill him in seconds. Everyone also saw how powerful Swellow was in this battle. The aerial ace used by Swellow seems a little different from the normal aerial ace Mikey. But this battle was just a surprise after all, and they didn't know what was different about Xiaozhi and Swellow. Bug Yan's name will probably be revealed in subsequent battles. Mr. Spencer's last Pokémon was a Claydol. His powerful psychic had Swellow at his mercy. Within a few rounds, Swellow fell. Then Xiaozhi also released his first and last Pokémon, Sceptile. After Sceptile came on the court, the weather on the court changed. From sunny day to rainy day. The waves are roaring and the storm is rough. The weather and venue were very unfavorable to Sceptile. Heavy rain makes Sceptile's movement less convenient. And what Spencer is best at is using the weather to fight. Under the huge psychic, Sceptile was directly sucked into the waterspout formed by the weather, psychic and strong wind. And Spencer took advantage of Sceptile's inability to move in the tornado. Start shooting it crazily as a target. Fantasy Ray, Rock Tomb, and even Destruction Death Ray. Although the tornado also reduced a lot of damage to Sceptile. But Sceptile has become scarred after enduring so many attacks. Sceptile's own Pokémon has a lot of health. After the waterspout failed to throw it out. Sceptile is so scarred that even his combat power is very difficult. At this moment, the storm suddenly stopped. The dazzling sun appeared again in the sky. The seeds behind Sceptile began to glow with a dazzling golden light. At this critical moment, he learned a new skill, Sunshine Flame. I learned a new skill. It's a pity. You don't have the strength to move anymore, right? Just let me finish you. Claydol, Fantasy Light. Sceptile, get out of the way. Xiaozhi has used a special skill, get out of the way. Amidst Xiaozhi's shouts, Sceptile suddenly felt a surge of force in his weak body. Then he jumped high into the air, with his back to the sun. The light of the seeds behind him shines brighter and brighter. Sunlight and flame, ready to finish. Sceptile, Sunshine Flame. As Xiaozhi shouted loudly, bright golden energy suddenly blasted out. The terrifying golden shock wave completely covered Claydol. The aftermath of the explosion left Mr. Spencer unable to open his eyes. After the aftermath slowly subsided, Claydol completely lost his ability to fight. After experiencing the dawn of resurrection, Sceptile successfully got off to a good start. And it's still 2 in a row. Advertisement. As the images flow, the follow-up Sceptile also has many battle scenes. Even once against Regirock. Regirock is also a mythical beast. And the battle on the screen is between Xiaozhi and Brandon. So will Xiaozhi and Brandon have another battle between mythical beasts? But that scene just flashed by. I don't know why. Tiandao Inventory did not release the complete battle video. The final scene is Sceptile vs Blaziken. Xiaozhi's rival is Mei. From the original rookie trainer and Torchic. It has become a mature trainer and Blaziken that can now keep pace with Xiaozhi. Xiaozhi really helped Mei a lot along the way. But this is also inseparable from Mei's own efforts. In the end, the battle between the two of them, who seemed like friends, like rivals, like masters and disciples, ended in a draw. The medal with the contest ribbon was also cut in half by the two of them. Half of them were taken in. The video ends here. Xiaozhi's journey to Hoenn also ends here. This is what everyone thought. However, after the screen dimmed, a string of text appeared. When Sceptile fought against Regirock, Xiaozhi was controlled and Brandon was pinned, so it was not considered a regular battle of gods and was not included in the battle of gods. Close black lens bracket. Sceptile will have another peak battle after Darkrai, so stay tuned. After these words, a picture came into view of the audience. In the picture, Xiaozhi is wearing shorts and short sleeves, with a heroic face. In front of him was the battle-hardened Sceptile. And his rival is one of the strongest trainers in the world today, Alchemy Emperor, the head of the 8 masters. The Pokémon released by Dan Emperor is a Thunder King Kong. This is the second trump card in Dandy's hands. Only slightly weaker than Charizard. Its combat power is recognized as strong. This picture only appeared for a few seconds and then faded. But it caused an uproar in the world. In the future, Xiaozhi fought with Dan Emperor. Moreover, Sceptile faced off against Dandy's second trump card, which beat the King Kong ape. Although everyone knows that there will definitely be such a day. But they feel that that day will not come so soon. But looking at Xiaozhi's face, I'm afraid not long after Alola won the championship. Xiaozhi will face Mr. Dandy. I'll go. Xiaozhi fights Alchemy Emperor. I really want to see it. Hoenn takes the fight to the King Kong ape. Who is the strongest grass type? What a heck. Tiandao inventory is like this again. Every time it's placed at the most critical moment, it's gone. Hurry up. Ah, I'm going to die in this battle without Sceptile. Hurry up and save me, Tiandao inventory. The handsome Sceptile versus the rugged King Kong, who can win? Tiandao inventories, out of context, behavior has not happened once or twice. However, we still can't take it for granted. Every time, there is one scene that keeps people interested. But in the end, they don't put it down. It's too much. Dandy. I didn't expect Xiaozhi to fight me so quickly. I originally thought it would take at least 10 years. Cynthia. Don't underestimate Xiaozhi's talent. But then again, aren't there any scenes of Xiaozhi playing against me? I'm not weak either. You Longdu. You. Let's wait. Even if we have to fight, I will go first. After all, I am Kanto Elite, the future Kanto champion. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Haha, the 4th-ranked champion of the 8 Masters. What are you talking about? Steven. I ended up 3rd, handsome and working the next day. Open black lens bracket Yulongdu. You guys, close black lens bracket. Lance is feeling miserable. This time, in the ranking of the 8 Masters, Dandy is 1st, Cynthia is 2nd, and Steven is 3rd. He's in 4th place. It's not that he lost to the previous ones. The main thing is that the ranking is based on the ranking of the person you challenge and the number of games. Lance played less in qualifying. So the ranking ends at 4th place. I'm going to kill you all when the 8 Masters competition starts. Lance secretly said cruelly in his heart. After watching Xiaozhi's battle, the champions also felt that their hearts were burning. I can't wait to have a fight now. And Xiaozhi is also immersed in the excitement of being able to fight against Dan Emperor in the future. Bulbasaur was lost in thought. Sceptile's threat was too great. He feels that his reputation as the top player in the grass department will no longer be preserved. You have to find a way to become stronger without evolving. Charizard was also excited after seeing his future partner being so powerful. The stronger the partner, the higher the probability that Xiaozhi will become a world champion in the future. And if there are Pokémon of equal strength competing with him, he will be very happy. Misty also fell into deep thought. The Stephanie named May on the screen just now. I always feel like a strong enemy. During the last contest, Xiaozhi cut the ribbon in half and gave one half to May. May's eyes are different, plus the blue-haired Stephanie, the one named Serena. As for the black-skinned girl, she hasn't found any threats yet. Oh yes, and Misty silently looked at the smiling blonde beauty Cynthia. This one is even more important. Advertisement. Stars. If this heavyweight were to die, he would probably become the big boss in the hearts of all Stephanie. The aura is so powerful. Even Diantha, who is also a champion and a top actor in the world. None of them are as powerful as Cynthia's aura. It is a feeling that is intellectual, charming, aloof, holy and all kinds of auras mixed together. It makes people feel that Cynthia is like the goddess normal that is untouchable by ordinary people. This is Cynthia, the second most powerful mega among the 8 masters. Petalburg Gym. At this time, Xiao Sheng had forgotten his previous sad mood. On the one hand, because he is still a child. On the other hand, it's because Xiaozhi's subsequent performance. Also, the heroic and confident look when fighting against Dan Emperor was so handsome. This made Xiao Sheng feel that if it was Xiaozhi, it wouldn't be a big deal to defeat his father. Because Xiaozhi is very strong. As strong as the world champion. Now he is already chattering and following his father's endless narration in the scene just now. All kinds of travels he has experienced. May looked at the screen that had turned pitch black and was lost in thought. At the last moment, she could feel that she seemed to have different feelings for Xiaozhi. As for what kind of feeling it is, she can't understand it now. But this didn't stop her from becoming more curious about Xiaozhi. That boy who is similar to her age. What a magical person he is. Norman listened to his son's nagging with a smile. I also noticed my daughter's trance. I always feel like my 2 babies have been kidnapped by that kid. One worships the other. Xiaozhi's Sceptile is so awesome. Of course 733, not only Sceptile, Xiaozhi's Swellow also performed well. And more. At Alola Academy, Lily and others excitedly discussed Xiaozhi's performance just now. Such a thrilling adventure really makes them yearn for it. Suddenly, Kiabe said something. Isn't Xiaozhi the most powerful one? He's comparable to Pokemon's trainer. It's so cool. Everyone was stunned for a moment, then nodded wildly. The title this time could be called Sceptile's Road to Bonding. It can also be called Mega's True Rookie's Evolution Path. From Bullet Seed to Bounce, Xiaozhi has gone further and further on the road of evolution. Professor Kukui looked at the distant sky with growing anticipation. Xiaozhi has come to Alola. The Monaro Stadium is now ready to start construction. I wonder if Xiaozhi can catch up with Alola's first-generation championship election. Amid the heated discussions among people around the world, words began to appear on the dark screen. The inventory of how to create bonds is over. The rewards will now be distributed to Trico and Xiaozhi. Please check them carefully. Close black lens bracket. Also, Quick answer question. Who invented Team Rocket's machine? Open black lens bracket A. Team Rocket headquarters, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket B. Jesse, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket C. Meowth, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket D. James, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket E. 3 people work together, close black lens bracket. Note: Team Rocket Trio are not allowed to participate in this quiz. Damn it. This is discrimination. It's blatant discrimination. Why don't you answer the questions for us? I want to complain. Complain. Meow. That's too much. We asked questions, but they didn't give us answers. The Rockets trio live in Bangbu. When I saw that the question was about themselves, they were even happier. As a result, the last sentence directly killed their excitement. Not a human. Really not a human. Oh, Tiandao inventory is not a human being in the first place. In short, it is too much. Questions were asked in the name of Team Rocket, but Team Rocket was not allowed to answer. Hateful. At the same time, 2 bright lights flew out from the sky. A ray of light fell on Xiaozhi. The other one landed on Trico in distant Hoenn. After a while, the light dissipated. Xiaozhi's appearance has not changed at all. But a piece of information appeared in his mind. Xiaozhi looked happy and then shouted. Trico, can you hear me? Chamo. Trico's young and firm voice sounded in Xiaozhi's heart. Now they can talk in their hearts. Peas. Just today, Xiaozhi's trip officially ended. No, it should be said that we can't see Xiaozhi's subsequent trip. If there is a chance, I hope this book can be written to the end. Asian Xiaozhi. PPs. Let me remind you that the ellipsis is only equivalent to 2 characters, not 6, so the ellipsis is not to count the words, but to pause the discourse and distinguish reality from fiction. There is a sense of space between the points. Chapter 95. Inventory rewards, telepathy, simplified version of Hoopa ring orientation. Advertisement. Xiaozhi, what's wrong with you? Misty was startled by Xiaozhi's sudden shout. Why did Xiaozhi suddenly call out Trico's name? Is he still immersed in the previous inventory? But Cynthia suddenly thought of something. Could it be that the reward of the Tiandao inventory is that even if you are in Kanto, you can still contact Trico in your heart? Yes, Miss Cynthia. Xiaozhi couldn't hide his excitement on his young face. Although this time the Tiandao inventory did not directly send Trico to him. But it gave him the ability to communicate with Trico's mind. Even in this remote Kanto region, he can communicate directly with Trico in the Hoenn region. Although Trico still uses Pokémon language. But he could completely understand what Trico said. Beyond that there's a bonus. And this Miss Cynthia. Suddenly a golden ring appeared on Xiaozhi's hand. The ring is only the size of a palm. Everyone came over curiously. This prop, I've never seen it before. Is it another prop carried by some mythical beast? Xiaozhi, don't want to. This prop is called Hoopa Ring Orientation Simplified Version. The simplified version of Hoopa Ring Orientation. Why is the name so long? Does it have any effect? Bruno scratched his head. This name is longer than the previous names of the props. Will the effect be more powerful? And, Hoopa, I've never heard of this name before. Divine beasts are things like the World Tree in Ho-Oh. Even if you have never seen it, you have heard some rumors. But Hoopa was unheard of. According to the introduction of Tiandao inventory, this directional ring is not a prop for Pokémon to carry, but is used to travel through space. Traveling through space. Yes. The other side of this ring is connected to the forest of Trico where Trico is. As long as you pass through this ring, you can directly reach Trico's hometown. But it can only connect to Trico's hometown and cannot go to other places. And another problem is that if you teleport from the ring, unless someone else takes the ring away at the other end, you will be teleported back to where you were when you come back. Xiaozhi's words surprised many champions. This thing is a space teleportation device. Just like a Pokeball. The current technology in the Pokemon world can only transport Pokeballs through space. If you want to teleport humans, that is basically impossible to do 880. This thing called the Hoopa ring is so effective. And, this is still a simplified version of orientation. If it were a real Hoopa ring, wouldn't Solacean be able to travel to anywhere in the world? Who is this Pokemon called Hoopa? Hoopa, I seem to have heard rumors about him in the Kalos region. But, except for the name, the rest of the information seems to be vague. Diantha said with a thoughtful look. She is an actor, not a historian. Even knowing the name Hoopa means that she is well informed. As for what kind of mythical beast Hoopa is and what special abilities it has, she has no idea at all. The reward this time is also quite practical, Xiaozhi. In this case, you can go directly to pick up Trico. Xiaozhi shook his head and rejected Bruno's idea. I have no intention of taking Trico over. He said that when I go to Hoenn, he will travel with me. But before that, he wants to continue to protect his home. Quote. In addition to giving me a reward, Tiandao inventory also gave Trico a reward. That is, to restore the 1,000-year-old tree to life. Hearing this, many champions were shocked. The vitality of that 1,000-year-old tree has almost been exhausted. Normally, unless it has the power of the god of life. For example, gods like Ho-Oh, Xerneas, and Celebi help. Otherwise, it is basically impossible to bring it back to life. All we can say is that the power of Tiandao inventory is really unfathomable. So, have you decided to travel with Trico again to Hoenn? Yes, but when I have time, I can go over and see Trico. He said he welcomes us. You can also go and see it together when you have time. Use this ring. Xiaozhi shook the golden ring on his hand. Although it is a simple version, there is no limit on the number of people who can enter. In other words, if they go to Hoenn, they don't have to fly or anything. Just go through the ring and you're done. And, Trico said, if there is any need for him to fight, you can call him at any time. Lance suddenly realized, isn't this the same as, you put Charizard in Charizard Valley. Train in Charizard Valley, and come back to help you fight when you need it. But, Trico Forest can't help you good exercise. Don't worry Mr. Lance, I will exchange the exercise items on Tiandao inventory and send them to Trico. In this regard, Xiaogang can help me with the idea. Xiaogang gave a thumbs up on the side. With their current wealth. As long as you don't buy any god-like props. If it is just used to purchase items or nutritional supplements for training Pokémon. Even if you use it for 100 Pokémon, you won't be able to use it all. Advertisement. This is the benefit of having more points. Speaking of which, Xiaozhi, do you know about Team Rocket? Do you know the answer to the question above? Lorelei pointed to the answer options on the screen. After their chat, there are only 30 seconds left in the countdown to answer the question. They also don't dare to choose answers rashly. After all, the last time Diantha failed to answer the question, it was a Black History playback. Who knows what punishment is this time? Xiaozhi should be clear about this issue, right? After all, the Rockets followed him all the way to the Lily of the Valley conference. Even it is not impossible that there will be no Rockets in the future. It is true love. Misty Xiaogang, you guys. Facing Xiaozhi's question, Misty and Xiaogang shook their heads like rattles. How could they have nothing to do to think about these problems? Now think about it, something is wrong. Who is the owner of the Rockets? Can you actually make so many prop robots? What do you mean, do you want to make a bet? Lance asked looking at Lorelei. Well, let's give it a try. If you can answer it, just answer it. If you can't, forget it. Do you have an answer? First of all, excluding Meowth, how could a Pokémon make such a sophisticated instrument? Secondly, excluding Jessie, that violent woman doesn't look like someone who can make such a thing. In other words, Aid chooses one of three, right? Lance also pondered. The rewards from Tiandao inventory are all very tempting. Many things are almost impossible to encounter in reality. Even if there is, it will cost a lot of money. So Lance wants to try it too. The rewards were worth the risk. The screen enters a countdown, and at the last second, almost everyone took action together. Congratulations to Giovanni for winning the right to answer the question. Please answer the options within 10 seconds. Close black lens bracket. Giovanni. It turned out to be Giovanni. Speaking of which, it seems like he hasn't been back to Viridian Gym for a long time, right? He went on a trip. Who knows? But if Giovanni chooses to answer the question, I think he should be quite sure. After all, he is the Giovanni of the Earth. Several Kanto Elite Four were chatting there. The other champions had no way to intervene. After all, that's something only they Kanto know. How could they, the champions of other regions, understand? Team Rocket headquarters. Giovanni seemed a little high-spirited at this time. Although there was no way to contact those three idiots. But based on his experience, this must have been accomplished by three people working together. After all, none of the three of them actually has this talent. If three people are put together, there might be some chemical reaction. Therefore, the answer is E. Giovanni selected answer, E. Wrong answer. Correct answer, C. Almost all the machines of the Rocket Trio were built by Meowth. Wrong answer punishment, revealing Giovanni's true identity. His identity is, the leader of Team Rocket, the boss of Giovanni. Close black lens bracket. The Rocket's important base in the Kanto region is shown in the picture. A map of Kanto appeared on the screen, with two huge light spots on Saffron City and Celadon City. This is where Team Rocket's important base is located. For a moment, all Kanto people, including the Elite Four, were silent. Lance's pupils have shrunk to the point where they can no longer shrink. The boss of Team Rocket turns out to be Adek Giovanni from the Earth. That was the first person who ranked among their Kanto Elite Four. Not only has great strength, they even occasionally carry out charitable activities in Jobin City to show their kindness. Implement Pokémon subsidies for some people who don't have Pokémon. Now it seems, even if it is not a recruitment operation for Team Rocket. Damn B******************** D, you're actually under my nose. Since Lance became the investigator, he has been competing with Team Rocket in a battle of wits and courage. However, He never expected that the boss of the Rockets would be right under his nose. Even under Alliance's nose. This is the master of a hotel. Even Alliance's signature gym owner, trainer. Giovanni, the Earth, who is known as the strongest gym owner. There is a saying that says, 3 years after another, the villain will go undercover and become a decent leader. Giovanni is a great example. If the Kanto Elite Four weren't too powerful, each one would be comparable to a championship level. I'm afraid Giovanni will become one of the Kanto Elite Four. Sorry Xiaozhi, I may not be able to keep you company these 2 days. Hashtag Tay. Kanto Elite 4, although only Lance is the investigator. But, the rest of the Kanto Elite also have the duty to protect Kanto. Advertisement. Now Team Rocket's base has been revealed by Tiandao. They must seize the time and lead the team to destroy it. And see if you can find any useful information. This time we must give Team Rocket a heavy blow. Let Kanto's gang stay in peace for a few years. Not just the Kanto Elite Four, I'm afraid this time. All of Kanto's powerful trainers will come out. As the honorary president of the Pokémon Alliance, Damaranch also quickly ordered. All official trainers near Kanto set off together to help destroy Team Rocket. I'm afraid there will be a bloody storm tonight. On the other hand, looking at Team Rocket headquarters. Bang bang bang. Useless thing. Why don't I know that Meowth has that kind of talent? Doesn't he only speak human language? Why has he even learned human skills? Damn it. Giovanni was furious in the conference hall inside the headquarters. The Rocket's 4 executives were stunned and didn't dare to say a word. Anyone who dares to touch Giovanni's brow now will probably be dragged directly to the dogs. You. Lead the team immediately and evacuate all Team Rocket members in Celadon City and Saffron City. Bring out all research materials if you can. If you can't, destroy them on the spot. Yes. As if they had been granted amnesty, the 4 executives quickly began to organize manpower to rescue 2 important headquarters. Giovanni gasped for a long time before finally calming down. He was really angry because those 3 people couldn't be contacted at the most critical moment. Otherwise, where would such a thing happen? In fact, Giovanni didn't know something. It wasn't just that he couldn't be contacted. Even if it is impossible for everyone in the world to contact the Rockets trio. They even couldn't even send barrages. Tiandao inventory directly blocked all communication signals around them including launching barrages. Unless someone happens to be next to them, otherwise. Do you really think Tiandao stocktaking is for charity? I'll ask you directly for the answer. The battle between Team Rocket and Alliance is going on intensely. Just happened to catch up with the Indigo Plateau Conference. There are many security personnel who need to prevent the order of the conference. We can only let the Kanto Elite Four bring some more powerful trainers to destroy their base. But the problem is not that big. After all, those are the 4 people named Elite in name, but actually the champions. This is the end of this Tiandao inventory. Close black lens bracket. The next Tiandao inventory will be a super large-scale plot inventory, which involves the rise of legends and the battle of gods. Close black lens bracket. Therefore, it takes 3 days to prepare this time. The inventory will continue to be started at the same time the day after tomorrow. Please stay tuned for your seats. After disrupting Kanto's order, Tiandao inventory also began to withdraw. And before this exit, Tiandao inventory released a preview for the next issue. This inventory was actually called a super large plot inventory by Tiandao inventory. It even takes 3 days to prepare. What type of inventory takes so long to prepare? To know, the previous inventory was 3 a day. Now it takes 3 days to prepare this inventory. Who can be called the rise of a legend by heaven? It must not be Xiaozhi this time, right? The audience is beginning to look forward to the review in 3 days. The inventory will take 3 days. Just in time, we will draw lots for the 8 masters tomorrow, and the 8 masters will start the day after tomorrow. After the game, we should be able to start watching the game directly. Cynthia said softly while eating the sundae cone that appeared on her hand at some point. Xiaogang on the side almost entered the love mode again. He was directly pulled back by Misty Raptor Duanzhong's hand. The 8 Masters competition. I want to watch it. Misty, if I remember correctly, after the last game the day after tomorrow, we will have a rest the day after tomorrow, right? Yes, we will have a day off the day after tomorrow, and the top 16 will be drawn the day after tomorrow. Haha, then I can watch the competition at home. Xiaozhi danced excitedly. That was a competition between the 8 masters. A battle between the top trainers in the world. 4 battles in one day. 8 of the world's top trainers battle. For Xiaozhi, it is enough to satisfy the eyes. The 8 masters competition determines the top 4 in one day, and the Indigo Plateau Conference is also set to determine the top 8 in one day. Ps. As for why these things should be rewarded, it is naturally to facilitate the relationship between Xiaozhi and Trico. In addition, you can also get some training props for Trico to train at any time. As for whether telepathy will make Trico special, because even Pikachu does not have such special treatment as telepathy. Please rest assured on this point, after Xiaozhi learns the power of Waveguide, he will basically be able to communicate with each other. If we really want to talk about special things, Pikachu is definitely the most special one. The current telepathy with Trico is just to facilitate Xiaozhi and Trico to communicate more emotionally. At this point someone may ask, why not just take Trico with you? Now Xiaozhi has jumped the queue and a Froakie comes in. If there are too many Pokémon, it will be difficult to rotate them, and it will be difficult to balance the bonding aspects, so Trico arranged it this way. In this way, Trico can not only exercise in the Trico Forest, but also take Xiaozhi over when he needs to compete. It will not affect the relationship at all. Some subsequent trump card Pokémon may also make such arrangements.